Oh God.
You're incorporating.
No, they don't.
You're incorporating.
You don't know.
Are you running away?
Oh, because I know what you like, brother. You have about 100 you in a minute. You fucking little chief.
Let's start our video with the first case.
Where are you running away?
Oh, because I know what you like, brother. You have about 100 you in a minute. You fucking little chief. You fucking chief. Prick. You see?
In this raw Luton showdown from 2011, Tommy Robinson was cruising through his transformed childhood neighborhood, and he made a shocking realization: how everything is now a complete Muslim area, with 90 mosques crammed in.
They talk about the burqa. So you've got burqas just everywhere. Everywhere. They've got no place in modern society, burqas. The burqa's just a complete... That to integration, that to Britain.
On the eve of the EDL's march into London's Tower Hamlets, Tommy Robinson took us on a tour of another neighborhood, much closer to his home.
This area here, I used to come down this area with my mum when I was younger.
Tommy says he totally felt unwelcome in his whole town. As he drives, warning that stepping out would summon mobs via quick phone calls, a local Muslim man boldly approaches the car window, sparking a fiery clash.
This area now is literally just a complete Muslim area. It's got 90 mosques all within a stone's throw, and plans for another 6.
So driving through this area, are you unwelcome here?
Oh yeah, I'm completely unwelcome here, yeah.
What would happen if you were to walk through the streets here?
If I was walking the streets, I'd get battered. If I tried to walk from one end to the other, I wouldn't get out. Because they get on their phones so quickly. There's Saif al-Islam, that one there. Yeah, he's the leader. Yeah. What? What have I got to talk to you about? What have I got to talk to you about? What have I got to talk to you about?
What have you got to say about Islam and that, innit?
Yeah, I have,
Yeah?
Yeah.
So why didn't you say it now?
What do you want me to say?
Yeah?
It's a ideology, it's got no place.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's got no place, bruv.
And what you
Sharia
got?
law's got no place in
What
this
you
country.
got?
What do you mean, what have I got?
Go and tell me,
What do you
innit?
mean,
What do you
have I
stand
got?
for?
What do I stand for?
Yeah, what do you stand for?
Integration, bruv. I don't stand for paedophilic practices, yeah? Yeah.
What do you stand for? Go and tell me.
The thug demands to know what Tommy has against Islam, but Tommy fires back, slamming it as a fascist ideology with no place in modern society and rejecting pedophilic practices. The man dodges, accusing Tommy of racism. And ultimately, things escalate to peak violence.
What do you stand for? How's it racism? How's it racism? How's it racist to oppose a fascist ideology?
Fascist ideology.
It's
And what
fascist.
do you? You're racist.
How am I racist?
You hate Asians,
what
yeah?
race? What race are Asians? What race are Muslims?
I heard. Come on, clown. Where are you running away
Oh,
from?
because I know what you like, brother. You have about 100 you in a minute. You fucking little chief. You fucking chief. Prick. You see?
You see, while Tommy is pressing for real integration talk, tensions boil as Tommy taunts the evader as a little chief prick, exposing the hypocrisy of it all.
Is Islam. You fucking little prick. The thing is, you get out of this car, they'll be here from everywhere. Watch, watch. Watch how many of them now turn up. Watch. Watch how many of them now turn up. I'll do your window up so you can't get out, because I'm telling you, look. Fucking pussy. Watch when I get with your fucking houses, you fucking mug. Fucking tramp. That is what they're like, you see? Now you understand, innit? Do you think that that man is usually a nice, tolerant person? Do you think that he's bringing his children up to be tolerant towards our children? No. Do you know what I mean? He's telling them that we've got the devil in us, etc., etc. We're all going to burn in hellfire. So when we say we're living amongst Islamist, fanatical, Sharia-driven scum who wish to completely destroy this nation, you just met one of them.
It turns out that would not be the only time violence would erupt near or people would be attacked near his home.
So you all know, I'm at this protest. No one's giving me grief, yeah? Because you're seeing them, they're angry about this. But I'm talking to many people, yeah? Man's got the crime. Well, I'm talking to many people because there's two different sides. You could watch it and think, oh, they're going to kill him, but that's what most people think. Most of these lads are coming up talking. I'm trying to find out why they're angry. Talking about the crime.
Respect everyone.
Talking about Islam, asking if they want to. This is a very different crowd. This is a very different crowd to the usual crowd. You know, the Anjem Chowdhury's old group who are always calling for death and shouting British soldiers burn. It's a very different audience. There are some extremes.
Already Ali Dawa and Muhammad Hijab, they answering you for all what
I spoke to Ali Dawa, but Ali's a clown. Ali said when I asked him that he would let his daughter marry 11. Would you let your daughter marry 11 years old? Would you? Yeah, okay. See, that's why I have a problem, bro. I think that's mad. I asked him, he
How
agreed.
many girls they been raped in UK? They are teenagers.
So we are Muslim. You might going to do wrong, but this is
My
not
question
wrong
I
is,
at all.
asked him, would you make your daughter marry at 11? He said yes. So
the Prophet, he
said yes.
do.
you need to have a word with him.
During this rally, Tommy crashed a heated demonstration against Quran desecration, surrounded by chanting Islamists waving signs and flags. Far from the expected mob violence, Tommy was mingling freely. He engages the crowd civilly at first, but swiftly turns the tables around with piercing questions.
That's not right.
I didn't get you properly, but what I'm trying to say, this is not a reason to talk about it. Because this is what England, this is what everybody
That's
in
a total
in the
reason to
world,
talk about for
they
me.
used to do
Yeah,
this.
but for me, it's a total reason.
Because this time, a woman is growing
Yeah, but
great, and they
he said
show
now.
like
He
a
said
lady
now, bro. He
they
said
was
now.
ready to get
He
married.
said now. He said now.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam
See,
on him. We are proud.
He said, why
of
do I
him.
talk about it? This is why I
We
talk
are
about it.
following him. But one question:
Yeah, go on,
how
mate.
many teenager girls they been raped in that?
Too many have been raped.
Don't.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to get some dinner. Negatively about. We have a problem, yeah. We have a problem. I don't know. He said he wouldn't. Yeah, this gentleman said he wouldn't. This gentleman said he would. So I just come to ask the gentleman, which they all seem. This is a very different crowd, yeah, to the crowd that I normally see on this sort of event. Yeah, exactly. A lot of these lads are normal lads, so and they just said we're unhappy and they're here for that's their right.
But that's nothing compared to what happened when Tommy Robinson confronted his Muslim accuser.
Fella, what's up?
I've just come to speak to Mansour. Speak to Mansour?
Right, I can send them down here, it's just nobody's allowed on the grounds at the moment.
Oh, right, yeah, if you could ask.
By order of the church.
Yeah.
So I'll just send one. Who is it you want?
So Mansour Ali.
Samanzo.
I can see him there, that gentleman there.
I'll go and ask him.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, my thing is that he's wrote a lot of stuff about me, he's organised a march against me. Maybe he should just talk to me, see where we differ on.
Tommy is about to meet Muhammad Mansour Ali in a local community center. Mansour Ali is presenting himself as a spokesperson for the local Muslim community because of how he's managed to gain some form of authority in the eyes of onlookers.
How you doing?
Okay.
I saw.
Before you start recording, how you doing?
How you doing, all right?
Mansour, please.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Dave Warnock.
Nice to meet you. And so I've just thought better than.
I'm not here for confrontation. So
No, I know that. I'm not here for confrontation, bro.
I'm just saying 100%.
I'm not-
I promise you, I'm not here for.
I'm not here for any confrontation.
Any naughtiness or anything. Do you know what I mean?
And neither am I.
Good,
yeah?
okay.
I'm just trying to understand because I just saw your peace march, just so I could ask you, what is it? What is it that you'd have a problem with if I stood here and spoke to members of this community?
You are more than welcome, in my opinion. I mean, I'm from Wally Range. I live in Wally Range. I'm from Wally Range. And
I've just looked you up.
Yeah,
Some good work.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We just help in the community. Do you know what I mean? And if the community here is against you being here,
Which community is that? Who within the community?
well, I mean, you're in Wythenshawe. What are you here for, Tommy? I honestly do not know. This is the truth. I really don't know.
You are the first person.
I honestly don't know.
Okay, since I've been here 2 days. Yeah?
Okay.
I've met hundreds of locals.
Okay.
Not one person has said I'm not welcome here. Okay. So who is it that's saying I'm not welcome here?
I've not said anything of the nature.
You just said people said I'm not welcome here.
Yeah.
Who?
Just online, things that I've seen online, Tommy.
Online by who? Because if you actually go online, actually under the comment section, which you surely have done, the comment section that says I'm not welcome here, if you read all the comments of the people from Wythenshawe, which I've done, have you
Tommy,
read them?
I've come to see you, Tommy.
Yeah, cool. Oh, well, I saw that you've come. I saw that you've come to say that you've come. Your statement was that I'm not welcome here.
But what?
Tommy Robinson is trying to sow seeds of division using Wythenshawe as a base. Please, how am I trying to sow seeds of division? Explain.
Well, what is it you're here for, Tommy?
No, you've said.
I'm asking you.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
I know, but just tell me what.
I will tell you. But I'd rather you tell me. You've made a statement today online.
I'm just a regular member of the community. You see the work that we do in our community.
You've said.
Ali accuses Tommy of causing division in the area. It's a serious charge, but the thing is, it's never clearly explained. Tommy doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't shout slogans. He simply asks a direct question. How exactly am I dividing people? What have I said or done? It's the kind of question that should have an answer if the accusation is real. But instead of specifics, Ali gives vague replies.
Seeds of division. If I said something negative about you, which I haven't, would you want me to? All I'm asking is, you've said.
I'd sit with you and have
that, which is why I'm here. That's why I'm here. For the 8th time, you said, "I am sowing seeds of division." Please explain how.
Tommy.
No, please, come on.
No, why are you here?
Can't. Do you make statements like this?
No, but
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because you've made a public statement on your social media which makes an accusation against me. I'm here to ask you to justify it for the camera. Please explain how I'm sowing seeds of division.
I'm just asking you, what are you here for, Tommy?
So, do we agree that I'm not sowing seeds of division?
I'm just asking you what you're here for, Tommy.
I'll tell you why I'm here. I'm asking you how I've sowed seeds of division, which you can't yet answer.
I just want a cup of tea and biscuits with you, Tommy.
Is this your statement? Are you? We can. But are you Mohammed Mansour Ali?
Can we have?
Yeah, we can.
We have a cup of tea?
We can. Can we just get this one question? Because then I see that you're a man of integrity, which at the minute I'm struggling with.
All I want is a cup of tea and biscuits.
Mohammed.
All of this.
He is talking around the issue, saying things like Tommy causes trouble, but never really explaining how. When Tommy asks again, calmly but firmly, the response shifts. Ali smiles nervously and starts talking about peace, hospitality, even offering tea and biscuits as a symbol of goodwill. It sounds friendly, but it avoids the question completely.
Else that doesn't think I'm welcome? Mohammed, please, bro.
Can we not?
Please.
Yeah, look, you call me brother, and I love that.
Yeah, mate, I've got no problem with you. Do you think I hate you? You have slandered me today, to a massive profile of people. All I'm asking is, one more time.
All I'm asking for is a cup
we will have one. I've never seen anyone avoid a question so much. People like yourselves make accusations against me, and you've got nothing to say about it, or no evidence, or no backup. When I'm here to ask you questions, one more time, what have I said that sows seed in the community?
Cup of tea and biscuits.
Fine.
Tommy Robinson is one of Britain's most polarizing figures, and his recent interview with an alleged Islamic grooming gang member has sparked chaos online.
Speak to me, buddy. You're incorporating. You're incorporating.
We're diving deep into the hidden crisis plaguing England, grooming gangs, government cover-ups, and the systematic silencing of anyone who dares speak out.
Or better known as the EDL.
There is no problem with West Indian youth. There is no problem with Sikh youth. The problem is with Islamic integration.
Now, the EDL was a counter-organisation to what they saw as the threat posed by Islamist extremism in their hometown, and it grew very, very rapidly across the UK, setting up branches and often attracting thousands to its marches.
There is no such thing in this country as a Muslim area.
He left in October 2013, saying that he'd suddenly become concerned about the threat of far-right violence in the UK.
Instead of being part of the solution, it may become part.
Tommy has risen to speak against the issue arising from the movement from 1 mosque to 45, and the countless rap cases that have come with it.
For an American audience who may not know all the dynamics at work here, could you break down real quick why so many native Brits like yourself are so frustrated with what's happening in your country, and how the face of the UK has changed so dramatically over the past 2 decades?
Our borders have been open to mass immigration. I'm from a town that's 30 miles north of London. When I was born in 1982, there was 1 mosque, there's now 45. We've seen Islamic rape gangs operate with impunity, no arrests, for 30 years. 1,000 children raped, 5 killed in the small town of Telford. 1,400 girls raped in the small town of Rotherham. Across the entire country, we formed an organisation to talk about this. As Englishmen, we come out on the streets screaming for help because literally the police were standing by and allowing it. This is going to sound so unbelievable, but we started in 2009. By 2014, there was a government report done. That government report found in Rotherham.
The disturbing statistics behind decades of ignored crimes, and why he spent years in prison for making documentary films.
Has been jailed for 18 months. The 41-year-old activist appeared at South London's Woolwich Crown Court on Monday after failing to appear at a previous contempt hearing for repeating false allegations against a Syrian refugee. Robinson, real name Stephen Yaxley Lennon, handed himself in to police in Folkestone, Kent, on Friday. Speaking during sentencing, the judge warned supporters in the courtroom to remain silent as he read out his closing remarks, labelling Robinson's actions a blatant breach of libel restrictions, He told Robinson that nobody is above the law. A non-custodial sentence cannot be justified, confirmed the judge, before handing down the 18-month sentence. Robinson's comments came despite a 2021 High Court order being in place, banning the activist from repeating the allegations against the refugee who sued him. Police confirmed he'd been arrested on one count of failing to provide the PIN to his mobile phone under Schedule 7 of the Terrorism Act 2000. However, the appearance on Monday came in relation to a separate warrant issued by a High Court judge earlier this year. Appearing in the dock, Robinson wore a grey suit and waistcoat with no tie after being remanded in custody on Friday. The judge informed Robinson that he would receive a 10% reduction for his guilty plea before handing him the maximum 2-year sentence. It means Robinson will now be sentenced to 18 months in prison. Asked by the judge whether he accepted he had committed the breaches, Robinson nodded and replied, yes.
From solitary confinement to death threats, from being banned by big tech to planning massive demonstrations, Tommy reveals what it's really like to fight an establishment that would rather protect its policies than its people.
In Oxford, in all these different cities, that the police were fully aware that young girls were being prostituted, pimped and tortured in these cities, but they didn't want to make arrests because they were scared of being called racist.
These are
That is the
Muslim
power of
gangs,
political
Tommy. These are Muslim grooming gangs.
Muslim rape gangs, they use a pretty word like grooming. In India, they call it love jihad. In Holland, they call it lover boys. We're talking about rape jihad. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about groups of men who target young girls. Some of the crimes, so people understand the demographics of the UK, 5 to 6% is Muslim. 90% of the convictions of these gangs in the UK are Muslim men. 30% are called Mohammed. Why? Why aren't the Sikhs raping like that? Why aren't the Hindus raping like that? No, they're not doing it. In fact, the Sikhs and Hindus are victims of these gangs as well. So these Muslim gangs, it's like an invading army has come into our country, raped its way through it with the full acceptance by our authorities. They've done nothing. Every institution that is there to protect children totally failed. And when we come out as English men trying to talk about it, we're deemed as racist and far right. So what you've seen blow up this week in the UK is a catalogue of things where they have continually tried to hide problems, push them under the...
Tommy has for years accused the legacy media of having been working in cahoots with the cover-ups of rape gangs, the corrupt judiciary establishments who, according to him, has done everything to protect the Muslim rapist every step of the way.
Breeds frustration. We've seen the police inability to deal with rapists, to deal with terrorists. We have 40,000 British Muslims on a terror watch list. 4 times as many British Muslims went to join and fight for ISIS than have ever joined the British military. We have a huge problem and you're not allowed to talk about it. You try and talk about Christians are under attack, Sikhs are under attack, Hindus are under attack, and yet when they're under attack, our government pander every time. They pander to the violence, they pander to the mob rule. We're fed up, close the borders. We want protection for our daughters, we want protection for our women.
He claims that the BBC Asian network gave the name of a rape gang victim on air to the Muslims, even though reporting restrictions were in place, putting the victim and her whole family in danger, forcing them to flee, and the worst part was that Muslim DJ who did it wasn't even charged, and this has been the case for many victims with similar stories on his show.
The victim who's experienced the horrific crimes committed against them shows amazing courage. Some of you may have seen, we have a victim here today who's been victim to these predators and these gangs. Her name's Amy. She's going to be brave enough to speak today. So it shows courage to go up against it. It's going to show...
and they're still doing today. The social services involved in the case when I was 11 to the age of 14, they didn't even have any training until last year. All these people, I did interviews, hours on end, and these people are still walking around today, heads held high, threatening my family with firearms. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, and I'm here today because I'm a strong survivor, and I believe and we will stand strong until we get...
Victims have been held up in fear over the intense threats from rapist gangs, who have warned them not to speak up.
My father recently has moved out of the family home to try and protect the family. People have made the threats come 10 times worse. My family have contacted police, they don't come out. 5.5 hours for a firearm. I was lying in my bed at 2:20 in the morning, and 15 police officers come to my house, busting my door when they could have been going to my family's house. 15 people for firearms coming to my house for no reason, saying that they had a phone call that I was trapped in a house and I was going to kill myself. But they send 15 officers to my house, and something so serious with firearms and things like that, they don't take it seriously. They offer my mom an asthma warning, but they don't offer to move them out of the area. It is disgusting, vile. Police officers in Telford have been handed envelopes full of money for evidence to be dropped. Well, I am not allowing it any longer. These people grooming young, vulnerable girls like myself. Even 12 years old, I went and I seen a girl in a freezer, dead. And they tell me if I spoke out, that would happen to me. And this is why I'm a strong survivor today with my own.
This has led Tommy Robinson to continuously expose the two-tier policing and judiciary system that has completely taken foot within the establishments of the UK, and although it has caused him to get locked up for 13 months for reporting restrictions which he has repeatedly tried to avoid still, he isn't about to give up exposing these Muslim child gang rapists, even hunting them down to ask them questions.
No, what are you here for? What are you here for? I'm here to expose. What are you here for? I'm here to expose. Go expose them then. Expose them.
I am right now. I am right now. You're all being exposed. Come on, Tommy. I'll speak to you. What do you want to know? I want to know why Muslim men are raping young English kids. Why are English men raping kids? I'll show you. Media. Come here. So your daughters. Your daughters. Go on, talk. Innocent. Hey, come on the media. Come on the media. Come on the media. So you talk about Muslims. You talk about Muslims. Did you get slapped up by who was? Didn't get slapped up by Muslims. Did a Muslim slap you up? Was that Muslim slap you up? Come on, talk. Did a Muslim slap you up? Talk. Talk. Are you in court? Are you in court for raping children?
Here we have the moment Tommy located a specific guy who he claims is an alleged pedophile. Tommy doesn't just sit in the sidelines, he confronts the monster directly and face to face, leaving him completely starstruck at the boldness of this unusual journalism. But it doesn't end there. We see Tommy pushing him harder to get answers.
You're here defending the people. I'm defending your dad. You're here defending your dad. You're being raped. I'm a proud kid. Muslim name. This is peaceful Islam. Who snapped the camera? He just snapped the camera. I hope he's arrested, yeah?
Do nothing!
I'll talk to you.
I told you I've got a duty to protect you, but you're persistently entering into what is a volatile situation.
He's a journalist. He's a journalist.
Yeah, that's fine.
I even said we have...
Rapist. 2017, this year, the British justice system is fucked.
Yeah. Look, these are the girls that are defending the Muslim rape gangs. Are any young Muslim girls getting raped in the city?
By your dad, yeah. By your dad.
You're scum. You're defending you're defending child rapists. They're all getting convicted. They're all going to jail. I'm here to expose people like you, all of you.
Scenarios like these brings us back to the confession of many young girls who have been completely ignored by the government, but not Tommy, who has repeatedly created platforms for them to share their stories.
Intimidate my family much longer. I will get justice even if I have to do it with my own bare hands. I'm sick of it. I am sick to death of it. by these disgusting, they're not even humans. They are monsters. These people are monsters. All of them are connected. Every last one of them. Let me tell you something. In 2013, on the 30th of September, I went for an abortion and they offered me £15,000 to keep a baby off a fucking monster. Sorry for swearing, but this is how I feel. This is how I feel, and today I have been given the chance to stand up these monsters. These monsters. Social workers, they put behaviour contracts in place. They never stuck to it. My family were told to lock me in rooms to keep me safe. They would take me upstairs, flats that I'd never known. Well, I hope everybody in Telford and the people here today see this, and other people come forward. We was never allowed to talk to each other. Never. We said hello and goodbye. Well, I tell you now, this might have messed up my family mentally, but we will emotionally come through this. We are stronger than these people think, and we will pull together as one. My dad spoke to Danny, in a video, and it's all broadcasted on YouTube, and he can tell you in more detail than I can because I'm very emotional. But if you watch that video, you will see it, that it's emotionally and mentally drained the family. It has torn our family apart now to the extent that my family are split. My family are split. My dad's gone, my mom and my brothers are there, my sister and her little boy. We need help get them out in the best possible way possible. These people have now gone searching places. Only yesterday, 10 people went searching for my uncle in a place that he goes the most.
These revelations have sparked widespread outrage. Citizens are demanding answers from the police and government officials.
But his friend was. And this makes me think that they're coming sooner than we think. So, in the next couple of days, these people will come to justice, and it will come to light that we will not give up. We will not give up, and we will fight until these people are brought to justice. Whether it's with Danny. Danny's tried his best. I've been sat on the phone at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, stressing about my family. I can't sleep at night because I'm not with them. I try my best. I call Danny 100 times a day, you know, and there's nothing anyone can do anymore, but our Telford police are corrupt. Social workers are corrupt. A 12-week programme took 44 weeks to complete. These people, social workers, they were supposed to protect me to safety. My partner, they didn't know at the time, and they let me abscond to London when I was 16. No one knew this guy, they'd never met him before, and they let me go to London when I was 16. All they said to me was, call us on the other end. These social workers, police, Kate workers of Telford are corrupt.
This is for you, Tommy. In the name of Allah, the death angel doesn't care if you're big. I will cut your mother. I'll rip, you will eat your mother. I'm telling you, I will kill you and take your merchandise. You better pray 2 rakats, you bloody kuffar. You better pray to your Lord, because I will kill you and...
You're talking about killing my kids. How have I found you before the police have found you? How have I got you here for...
A pro-Islamist man openly vowed to kill Tommy Robinson online, and before he could turn around he was tracked down, confronted, and eventually taken into police custody. What started as another internet threat quickly turned into something far more serious, and honestly far more disturbing.
It's been an eventful week in my household. Any of you lads out there who think you've been in the doghouse? You don't know about the doghouse. At the start of this week, we had the start of the Darren Osborne terror trial. That's for the outside Finsbury Park Mosque. Now, I was falsely accused to be sending direct messages to Darren Osborne by the media and by the CPS. What this has resulted in is a mass backlash against...
Now, if you've followed Tommy for any length of time, you already know this isn't new. Threats come with the territory. But this one was different. This one crossed a line that couldn't be ignored. This story begins during what Tommy Robinson describes as one of the most stressful weeks his family has ever faced. And you can hear it in his voice. He's tired, angry. But more than anything, he's worried. Not about himself, but about his family.
And I've received so many death threats. Things that I should never have to read about my children. People threatening to chop up my children, to eat my children, to rape my daughters, to kill my wife, to kill my mum.
The messages were very unpleasant. Others were plain disturbing. And a few, in his view, crossed a line that made them impossible to ignore. What worried him most wasn't criticism aimed at him personally. It was the way his family was being mentioned. When messages stop being about ideas and start naming people who have nothing to do with public debate, everything changes. And one man in particular stood out.
One of these threats this week was this guy.
This is for you, Tommy. In the name of Allah, the death angel doesn't care if you're big. I will cut your mother. I'll rip, you will eat your mother. I'm telling you, I will kill you and take your merchandise. You better pray 2 rakats, you bloody kuffar. Pray to your Lord, because I will kill you and take your merchandise. If you was me, you'd kill people because you're big. I will stab his tweezers, snatch his soul, chew it, and his death will come with my hand.
This person wasn't just leaving comments. He was sending repeated messages and videos, using intense language and framing everything in religious terms. The tone was emotional, erratic, and increasingly alarming. From Tommy's perspective, it no longer felt like online posturing. It felt unstable. At the same time, something else was happening that added to the tension.
Lots of people have been trying to find out where I live. Lots of people want to kill me. I have family. Now, Ali Dawah, who's a Muslim YouTuber, has been going to the wrong address, highlighting the wrong property, saying it's mine. That's resulting in an innocent family being scared in their home and having to have police protection. Even after he realises that, still right now, he's putting out another wrong address, which is not my address, it's not where I live, another wrong door number, and banding it about. Now with that, with all of the death threats, with people threatening to kill my family, and now with innocent people's addresses being put online, I have a duty to try and stop all of this. So I made the decision.
These addresses were being shared online by a well-known pro-Islamist commentator, with claims that they belonged to Tommy. They didn't. These were ordinary homes with ordinary families, suddenly pulled into a storm they never asked for. Police had to step in to reassure them. Even after mistakes were pointed out, more incorrect addresses appeared. At that point, Tommy says he felt a responsibility to act, not only for his own family but for the people who were being wrongly dragged into the situation. He contacted the police and handed over everything he had. Messages, videos, screenshots. He wanted to make sure the situation was handled properly and before anything escalated further.
Because he's making videos, he's sending them to me, he's putting them online, he's talking about how Allah's instructed him. Do you want me to read you what he said? He's messaging me, normally if you're good I will still kill your mother, chop her, burn her, cook her. Your daughter, who's a piece of shit, slaughter her neck. She will, I will chop that fat little hairy cunt and cook her with her own saucepan. I'll make all of his stuff. Then he's making religious, it's all religiously motivated. So after a little wait, the police have arrived. And I thought it's best to try and do this the right way. I'm trying to do this all the right way. So let's sit down, talk to the police and see if they can do their job. He's then specifically saying he's going to kill my mum. There's other videos of him saying he's going to kill my mum. There's all these different videos. Now, my kids are at school, my wife's at school, my mum and dad are around. Yeah? He may look like an idiot, but it's these.
Then came another unsettling moment, when a garage worker working on his car contacted him to say they'd found something attached underneath that didn't seem right.
At this point, they seem to be taking everything seriously. When I mentioned to them about the tracker... And in my voicemails, I had a message from the owner of the garage saying, we've stopped working on your car because we've found something on your car that doesn't look like it should be on your car.
Oh, he said it's stuck on with double-sided tape. Could it have been in here?
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, that's it. Hold on. Where was that?
It was in here.
Yeah.
What's that? It was in here.
It was in here.
Police were called and the vehicle was examined. For Tommy, this added to a growing sense that things were moving far beyond online chatter. Despite all the fear and frustration, he makes an important point.
They sent officers straight away to seize the car, forensics, and to seize the tracker. It looks like we're getting somewhere.
I know there is a lot of other things going on behind the scenes that you're not even aware of right now, okay? So don't think that me just sitting here is the only person that's got any involvement with this.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I've got inspectors, I've got sergeants all on this as well, I've got the Intelligence Bureau on it, etc, etc. So there's a lot of other things going on. other than me just sitting here right now. Yeah?
That's all I got there, thank you.
He believed the man sending the messages might be dealing with serious mental health issues. And he's clear about this. Mental illness doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it does change how you understand risk. Someone who is unwell can be more easily influenced and less aware of consequences.
Of watching the videos of this man threatening my family, I had the inkling that he may be suffering from mental illness. That doesn't make it less dangerous. Sometimes it can make it more dangerous. He's unpredictable. He's being used, he's being manipulated. This is what I believed at the time. He's being used, he's being manipulated, he's being wound up to go on a killing spree. Right now, Ali Dawah's banding innocent people's addresses around with this individual who wants to go and kill everybody. Okay? Massive concern for me. Huge concern. Now, if we look at previous cases over the last 12 to 18 months, we had an 85-year-old grandmother beheaded in her garden by a Muslim suffering from mental health issues, screaming Allah Akbar. We've seen the Leytonstone tube attack, where a man come out stabbing everyone trying to kill them while shouting Allah Akbar. Apparently he was suffering from mental illness. We've seen in Russell Square in London, you wouldn't have heard of many of these instances. Russell Square in London, where a Somalian Muslim had gone on a rampage stabbing 7 random people in a park, murdering an American tourist while shouting Allah Akbar. That actual individual had gone to the mosque in the morning, hearing all these voices to kill people, and rather than ring mental health or ring the police, they said prayers for him to Allah. And he then went on a...
These are all past incidents where warning signs were visible but not acted on quickly enough, leading to tragic outcomes that everyone later said could have been prevented. And Tommy was clear he didn't want this to become another one of those stories. So while police continued their investigation, Tommy gathered information about the individual and passed it on.
Bearing in mind I know all of this, I then see what I believe is possibly a mentally disturbed individual who's quoting scripture and text from Islamic scripture. He's quoting, all the things he's quoting is to do with his religion. I then look in and find things out about him, and I find out that he goes to the mosque every single day, Mitcham Mosque. I then pay a reward, and I find out where he lives and his real name, all of which I give to the police right here, right now, in that meeting.
No, thank you. No. And his name there is... This is another Facebook. But then I found... So these are different Facebook profiles. That's the one he's using to threaten me. Now, when I've looked through, he went to high school. Now, when I've looked up kids that went to school with that name, I found... So, before his name, which makes sense with the card, that's his real name.
I done all of their job for them. Prior to sitting down and meeting with them, I found out and paid a reward to find out who the man was, where he lived, his real identity. They've got the evidence, as you can see. It's clear as day. He's threatening to murder and kill. That's a serious crime. All they have to do is go and pick him up.
And then, rather than waiting, he made the decision to meet the person in public. Not to confront him aggressively. Not to provoke him. But to see who he really was.
In London, and I had to do the police's job, which is what we done yesterday for them. So, yesterday morning, I gave the police the man's name, his address, where he lives. That's where he lives over there. So a day's gone by. I then have a duty. So I then decide to do whatever I need to do to protect my family and make sure that this man is taken off of our streets. Down. Yeah. Have you got mental health issues?
Yeah.
Right, so you're talking about killing my kids. How have I found you before the police have found you? How have I got you here before the police have found you? Where are you running to? I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. You're threatening to murder my children, bruv. I'm not going to hurt you, okay? If I wanted to hurt you, I'd already hurt you.
Okay.
I'm not going to hurt you. You're threatening to murder my children. How do you think, bruv, if you've got mental health issues, you need help, bruv. If that's the case, if you're standing in front of me now, yeah? Are you going to come to my house and hurt my family?
No.
So why are you saying it, kid?
Someone keep brainwashing.
The contrast was striking. The person behind the messages didn't match the image created online. Instead of confidence, he was nervous and afraid. Tommy made it clear he wasn't there to harm him. He simply wanted answers.
Who's brainwashed you?
Ali Dawah.
Ali Dawah's brainwashed you to kill my kids.
I got that from YouTube, actually. Someone said he'll kill someone and take his merchandise.
Take his merchandise, like some Islamic...
Have an arm wrestle.
Can you have an arm wrestle? See, mate? Look, listen,
Friendly one.
Friendly one? Look.
Oh my God.
Look. Look, son, I can see. Yeah. See, I'm meeting you now, and I know there's no danger to my family, yeah?
Okay, I'll protect you. You
protect me. So Ali Dawah, talk to me. So Ali Dawah brainwashed you.
It seems this online troll acted from whatever he had been told, the videos he'd watched, and how he's being taught to see certain people as enemies. Slowly, It has become clear that he hadn't fully thought through what he was saying or the consequences that could follow.
So Ali Dawah's been brainwashing him. Here we have a mentally ill man, clearly mentally ill, a victim, a vulnerable person, who's told us Ali Dawah, the same man who you've seen a screenshot for, passing a new address around, the same man that gave an innocent family's address out last week, the same man that's had a complete campaign to put where I live and find where I live. That's who's been brainwashing him. This is dangerous.
I mean, it looked like online hatred, but a closer examination reveals it's more like manipulation. A vulnerable person wound up by others, repeating words he didn't fully understand.
You'll be okay, brother.
Video arm wrestling match, me and you.
Afterwards we will.
We'll have an arm wrestling match afterwards. Yeah? So yesterday morning I went to your officers. They told me they've got 4 different units on this. They've got cyber, they've got intel, they've got CID, they've got all these groups. They're all operating to make sure my family is safe. I've come to find him because I don't trust us. To protect my family.
You've come to find him?
I've come to find him. So I've waited outside his house. I've seen him come out for his first prayers, and I've come over to assess myself if he's a danger to my kids, because I've got, as I said, all the evidence is there. He's been making videos, putting videos online saying, I'm going to kill you, Tommy Robinson, I'm going to kill your wife, I'm going to kill your kids. And I can't believe that I'm standing here. I've had to come to London to find him, that no one's arrested him. And he doesn't need arresting, he needs sectioning. He's mentally unwell.
21, male conscious breathing.
Your officers, what I would have thought by now, after how profile this is, it's all been online, it's all, everyone's watching it, and how profile it is. I've come here and assessed him myself the minute he tried to run off, but the minute I've met him, I can see, look, he needs help. He's got mental health issues. I've had attack after attack after attack. You've never arrested anyone, done anyone. You've never prosecuted anyone. I get continually. I'm fed up of sitting and reading comments from Muslims saying they're going to butcher and kill my kids and my family, and I shouldn't have to do it.
How convenient. It seems as though the cops were waiting for Tommy to do the heavy lifting for himself. The so-called mentally ill pro-Islamist person was arrested and removed from the situation before anyone was hurt.
You always hear about, after terrorists, he was mentally ill. Now, if this man would have come and killed me, or killed an innocent person in the home, or killed a woman, it's too late then. It's too late. Someone's life has gone. We always hear this, and it's these people that are used, that are manipulated, that are wound up. First thing I asked him was, what do they teach you at mosque? And he genuinely looked scared when he said to fear Allah. And he looked scared, like he is scared of Allah. So when someone sets him on a path to do something for Allah, this is the sort of vulnerable victim that will do it. Yeah.
You want a little arm wrestle?
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh,
there you go, see?
See how strong you are?
He is strong, he is strong.
There you go.
But before his arrest, Tommy made him understand something very fast. Because people like him are often left to deal with the consequences alone. Once things go too far, the people who encourage them disappear while their lives are permanently changed.
Nicky Riley had Asperger's and serious learning difficulties. He was radicalised and then handed a bomb to go and blow people up. Luckily, he blew himself up in a toilet. But this is exactly the same situation. This is why the government, counter-terrorism and the police should have been all over this to take this man off our streets. It's ended up with me, the person who is threatening to kill my children, getting him the help he needs. Now you can see the difference in what he's been told about me after his brainwashing by Ali Dawah, what he expected of me after all he's been sent to kill my family on a mission to kill us all, and the reality after I've met with him.
Why does people show hatred in you? Because first I didn't know you, that's why I was doing it. Okay. But when I knew you, you're a good person, you're not a bad person.
No, it's all right, man. But you, as I said, just get the help you need, because you need help. You need medical help. So don't. And you see those sort of Ali Dawahs, they're going to use you.
Be nice to the police officers.
Preachers, they're going to use you. You don't want to be used, yeah? Because they'll wind you up and make you do something like you do it, right? Sam.
We've got an ambulance coming down.
An ambulance is coming, yeah? I think everyone knows what would happen if a non-Muslim had said any of these things. Completely different situation. I completely feel, and you can probably rewind to this once it happens, that the police and the government are allowing me to be targeted and eventually be killed.
That encounter wasn't just about one man or one online troll. It points to how quickly words can escalate, how vulnerable people can be influenced, and how important it is to take warning signs.
They should be home for treason.
Oh God. Oh God. No. What are you doing?
Say something in there.
Go on.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm lucky to stop from that, Rob.
Go on. Remember my face, yeah?
This not-so-recent clip just resurfaced of an incident where Tommy Robinson was attacked on the streets of Luton by a bunch of Muslims who take Tommy as a mortal enemy. What the assailants didn't realize is that right on the spot, Tommy had called in law enforcement without their knowledge.
Definitely feel there's more tension in the air now that we're walking through here.
Yeah, of course. Luton's a very divided town.
You were here when you walked through.
I was the leader, mate, I was.
That's racist.
No, it's not, Bob, no.
Why do you think it's racist? Oh dear, what was that? What did they just say to you? Oh God, I don't know if this is a good idea.
The attack looks chaotic on the surface, but when you slow it down, it tells a deeper story about modern Britain. This was not a planned protest or a political rally. Tommy Robinson was simply walking through his hometown with a journalist, talking on camera. And that is what makes what happens next so unnerving.
Don't point your camera at me, I'll break your camera, I'm telling you. Go on, then you got something to say.
What have you got something to say?
Come here. Hey, fuck you. What have you got to say? Huh?
Oh God. Oh God. No.
What do you mean? Say something then. Pussies. Go on.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm lucky to stop from that, Bob.
Oh, go on, remember my face, yeah?
As soon as people recognize him, the mood changes. Insults start flying. People shout at him, get in his face, and threaten the camera crew. Some accuse him of being racist. Others tell him to leave his own town. The situation becomes tense very quickly, and police are called to calm things down.
Did you get that on camera? Hi, I've just been attacked in Luton Town Centre.
How are we doing, all right?
Yeah, good. Where'd they go?
Tell me what's happened.
It was very, very frightening.
What stands out here is not who Tommy Robinson is, but what he represents in this moment. He is a man with controversial opinions, yes. Many people strongly disagree with him, and many of those criticisms are fair. But disagreement is supposed to be answered with words, not intimidation.
Get on with your life, man. No point causing a commotion.
It seemed like the whole town was surrounding us, and everyone had an opinion.
Obviously, he's got all the people behind him, all the white people, yeah? And we're in a white man's world right now.
He doesn't have a relevant point. I think he's
relevant.
made out to be 10 times worse than he actually is, though.
My brother went to school with him and he said he was a dick.
What about Afghanistan? What about Iraq? All the millions of people who are dying there for what?
In this case, Robinson is not attacking anyone. He is not calling for violence. He is simply speaking about his views on Islam as an ideology. Yet that alone seems enough to trigger anger and threats.
Do you think that will look good?
I've got children to take home.
Why is it so divided? You were born here.
Listen, I was born here. Listen, I'm proud of where I was born.
Yeah. Clearly, the divisions here run far deeper than Tommy Robinson.
We'll get out of your countries when you get out of our country.
The truth is, many Muslims feel like outsiders in this country.
What do you mean, get out? You're born here.
Have you ever, do you think, incited any of this?
Well, that's what they're saying. Well, you deserve it. You deserve it. What? Because I exercise my freedom of speech and I'm critical of an ideology. America's going to see firsthand what's going to happen. How their freedoms will be under attack. This is what's happening. This is coming your way.
The message being sent is clear. Some opinions are no longer allowed to be spoken out loud in public. That should worry everyone, not just his supporters.
Just got the finger.
Come.
Do you think we should go?
Welcome to England.
You could feel the tension on the streets in Britain, and there's a lot of anger there. And I don't know how anyone can change that.
In fact, it seemed the only thing the Sharia Patrol and the EDL have in common is that they believe this conflict is coming to the United States. As for the rest of us, the majority, we can only hope the voices of the many drown out the screams of a few. For Nightline, I'm Lama Hassan in London.
Free speech does not exist to protect popular opinions. Popular ideas never need protection. Free speech exists to protect speech that makes people uncomfortable. Once society decides that certain views must be silenced by force or fear, then freedom becomes very fragile.
Literally, say for example Lee Rigby's killer, Michael Adebolajo. When he Rigby, he handed a woman a piece of paper with 52 verses that he said forced him to do it. That he said. So what I'm saying is, if he's saying that, if Sam Malaby's saying that, if people are literally quoting the Quran while blowing things up and people, then we need to examine
People
what
quoting
this
Tommy
is.
while shooting people, innocent women and children in New Zealand.
They just misunderstood.
One man, bro.
Yeah.
They're misunderstood the
Your
same way
argument
you're
is-
misunderstood.
That's your guy.
But do
Someone
you-
also ran over people outside the mosque, and he was also a follower and a supporter of you as well.
What about the Pope?
No,
Yeah,
but we haven't got to
What
my
about the Pope,
but we
though?
haven't answered my question.
What about the Pope, though?
No,
Do I still
we haven't
stand by that?
answered
Do I
my
still stand by
question.
that? So
In the thing, you know, you said that until this book that this
He
is
did.
about
He
this-
answered straight away. He said, yes, I do feel the same
He
way.
didn't say that.
He did. He
Did
did.
he?
Yeah, Queen. What I said is,
some-
what I said is, I was quoting William Gladstone. William Gladstone held the Quran above his head in Parliament and said there will never be peace on this earth so long as we have this book. It's a violent cursed book.
Suck your mother, William
Gladstone said that, yeah? So William Gladstone is one of the previous leaders.
Britain is often described as a tolerant, open society where different religions and beliefs live side by side. But on this street, tolerance looks thin. The police presence says a lot. They are not there because a crime has been committed, but because speech itself has caused unrest. That is not a healthy sign. When police have to stand between people and ideas, something has already gone wrong.
He didn't talk about an interpretation, yeah? He spoke about... I think, with most Muslim conversions in jails and things like that, they're not converting because they believe Muhammad flew up to heaven.
They're
on a wing.
converting because they're shook.
Yeah, for a brother.
Yeah,
And
you know what I'm
shook,
saying? They're
yeah.
shook. They want.
It's not a
They
religion.
want. You know what I mean?
It's they're converting to a gang.
They want. I swear, I'm with him with that
I'm
because a lot of them they're converting just for the.
This is my
Because they
point.
can't hold their own, innit?
This is my point. The black community, SMS, all of that, had a time in South London where black converts was literally sticking up man and forcing man to join Islam. But the black community didn't look at it and say this is Islam. We understood that this was Islam linked with these linked with these road youths culture, with these road culture, and they was practicing it wrong. Not like the Muslims in the masjid that we know that pray 5 times a day. In the same way, we can see that with these grooming gangs, we can see that it's not Islam, it's Islam linked with British culture, which is caused.
It's British culture's fault that Muslim men are raping kids.
Yeah,
This also highlights the pressure many people feel when criticizing religious ideas, especially Islam. Criticizing a belief system is not the same as attacking people. Yet the two are often treated as identical. That confusion shuts down honest discussion.
Don't interview him. He's a racist prick. Why are you giving him airtime for?
They are interviewing me.
Why are you giving him airtime?
They are interviewing me.
Racist rat.
They are interviewing me.
Why are you giving him airtime for?
They are
Fuck him.
They are interviewing me.
He hates Muslims, but he's in a Muslim
They are
country.
interviewing me.
Where that one at?
They are
He's a
interviewing me.
fucking
Yeah,
prick.
fine.
Don't give him no airtime.
Mate, go on,
You
say
hate
that.
Muslims like us. Why are you here? Why are you in this country? You
I'm
hate
here
Muslims.
under invite, actually.
You hate Muslims, so why are you in a Muslim
I'm here
country
under
for?
invite, bro.
You're a little rat.
Yeah, good one.
Uneducated little rat.
You're uneducated. You're uneducated.
You're a prick.
No,
Get the fuck out of here. You're not one of
off you, Mark. Let me
You're
finish my
running around
interview.
here.
I'll finish my interview.
Fuck this interview.
I'll finish my interview.
He's a Don't point one no interview. Don't give him no time. The racist rat bastard. He hates Muslims, but he's in a Muslim country. Where that one at? How the fuck does that work?
Not long after the street clashes in the UK, Tommy Robinson found himself in yet another heated moment, this time thousands of miles away in Dubai. While attending a high-profile Misfits boxing event, Robinson was being interviewed on camera when Ty Mitchell, a Muslim boxer from Derby, suddenly walked up to him.
I don't like terrorism. I don't like jihadis.
Neither do Muslims.
So stand up against me.
I do stand up against them. Yeah, I do. Why don't you stand up against the grooming gangs that are white? I've only ever seen you stand up against. I'm from Derby, England. Yeah. I only see you stand up against the Muslims. I stand up. What do you mean? What am I doing here? I'm a professional. I fight for Misfits. I'm a Misfits fighter. What are you doing here? I'll go against anything that's against Islam.
Okay.
Against Islam. Grooming gangs are against Islam.
I'm here under the invite of Emiratis, who I'm meeting tomorrow to discuss terrorist organisations in the UK. So that's got fuck all
white
to do
ones
with
or
you.
just Asian ones?
I'm here to meet Emirati Muslims who work, Muslims from here, the United Arab Emirates, who work against
the problem is,
against the
let me
Muslim
tell you the issue I've got with you. The issue I've got with you is I'm not bothered. No, but I've watched you stuff, and the issue I've got is you're only against Muslims. Why when a white person does something, you don't question it?
What have I said that you disagree with? What have I said?
No, I'll tell you what you're disagree. You only push a narrative against Muslims.
Give me what I've said.
I'm telling you, you only push a narrative against Muslims.
Tell me what I've said.
Why do you not?
There was no long build-up or debate. Mitchell confronted Robinson directly, calling him names and accusing him of being racist. By Mitchell's own words, he believed Robinson should not be given a platform at all, especially in a Muslim-majority country.
Do you not go against all the white people that do it and all the Christians?
Shall I tell you?
In your Bible it says that if a woman doesn't pray when she covers to shave her hair off, you don't put that out there, do you?
Let me tell you.
Go on then.
Because 90% of the men convicted young kids in gangs, 90% are Muslims.
Most of the nonsense look like you, though.
That's not my fault.
Most of the nonsense look like you.
I'm giving you a fact. I'm giving you a fact. The majority of nonsense are white. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well then, so why don't you? I don't see you pointing that shit out.
Because it's a majority
Because
white
you've got an issue. You come out there. I know. I've seen you on the news.
It's a majority white nation.
Quran saying that you're
it's
against
a majority
this
white
book.
nation.
What against the Quran are you against?
Things out.
Yeah. out of context. Anyone can do that out of context. I can read the Bible out of context.
Okay.
And the Bible's far worse out of context than the Quran.
Rather than arguing me, go argue with ISIS, go argue with Boko Haram, go argue with Al Qaeda.
I do. So why don't you go argue with all the the churches?
Okay.
Why don't you go?
Do you believe in free speech?
Yeah.
How about you
so
fuck off and let me finish my interview then?
Why is your free speech only against Muslims?
To him, Robinson's past criticism of Islam and Muslim communities was reason enough to confront him physically rather than verbally. Watch out for what the boxer does at the end. Within seconds, he shot Robinson on camera before security stepped in.
I'm not talking about Muslims.
No,
you're okay, mate.
I'm on about that's what you're known for.
Because I've got an opinion.
You're a racist,
I'm allowed
big
my
little
opinion.
prick and no one wants you around here.
What's racist got to do?
Fuck off.
What's racist got to do?
Come back to where you come from.
Yeah,
No.
what are you doing? Who are you pushing?
No.
Who are you pushing, you fucking fanny?
No,
I mean, who are you pushing?
I'm just doing an interview now.
Lucky. Do I look like I give a fuck about you? Do I look like I give a f***? Look like I give a
What this incident shows is a clear pattern. Wherever Tommy Robinson goes, whether on the streets of Luton or at an international sporting event, his presence alone sparks hostility. People don't argue with his ideas. They try to silence him with intimidation, insults, and sometimes force. But that's nothing compared to the suppression he faced during this interview. Notice how aggressive they are towards him and try to cut him off immediately he starts reading the Quran. In case you are wondering how Britain became this muddle they are today. Tommy continues to speak far and wide against this high-handedness by members of the Islamic community. Here's him addressing the issue at a recent sit-down.
You talk about not feeling safe in your hometown. Well, I am from Rotherham, and we were shocked and disgusted by everything that happened. And it was hard enough living in a town that had to deal with that. But then the following weekend, the EDL and other members of the far right came to our town.
Where are you from, sorry?
I'm from Rotherham.
Rotherham, okay, yeah.
And members of the groups from the far right, like the EDL, the BNP, came to our town, and we had to lock ourselves away in our houses, people who were Pakistani or Muslim, because they didn't feel safe in their town. 2 streets away from my house, the EDL, members of the EDL and these groups were smashing shop windows and cars. My dad was assaulted because he was a Muslim taxi driver by men who identified themselves as members of these groups. And my question to you is that you talk about Muslim extremism, as you should, because it is a problem. I'm not denying that it is, but you don't mention attacks from members of the far right that attack other people, or members from the far right that go around thinking it's acceptable to physically harm others. You focus on Muslims, you place the onus on Muslims to speak out, which Muslims do speak out, and I think that they should, but you don't focus on these groups that do this. You don't talk about how these groups aren't representative of the EDL or other groups as a whole. I know that you've left the EDL now, but when you were a member you didn't, and I just feel like there are tensions on both sides, and both sides should be held accountable. But
there are, but I think to compare groups on the far right with Islamist terrorism who wish to kill, murder, maim, and they are killing, they are murdering. There's no groups of EDL or groups of the far right picking up young Muslim girls and it's not happening, okay? I know it's disgusting and sick.
Robinson's reply is blunt but structured. He doesn't deny that attacks on innocent Muslims are wrong. In fact, he repeatedly says they are disgusting and should be punished. What he refuses to accept is the idea that all forms of extremism pose the same level of threat.
Attacked. You're from Rotherham. The grooming case from Rotherham. A local councillor, Muslim, went to court and gave a character reference for the groomers. He gave a character reference. The ex-mayor, who's a Muslim, went to court and gave a character reference. After that court case, once those men were convicted for rape, disgusting, sickening crimes against kids, there was no outcry. I'm not trying to justify any of it. I'm just trying to... I remember looking at it and thinking, hold on. A councillor who's gone to court and gave a character reference for a paedophile who's raped a kid, and he ain't lost his job. And yet, when you say I don't speak out, I actually hate the far right, the real far right, as we've seen, who the far right I see as the far right. And I think it's right to bracket every people who are critical of Islam as an ideology. It is right to condemn what you're saying is actually against innocent Muslims, but the reason why I don't speak out as much about them is because they're not blowing things up, they're not murdering, I haven't really seen many incidents or any evidence of the crimes like in comparison to what we're seeing. I don't think that, you see, the far right is going to grow.
He also points to institutional failures, especially in grooming scandals, arguing that fear of being called racist led authorities to stay silent.
In the coming years, it is going to grow. You will eventually see an attack from the far right on innocent Muslims, whether it be a mosque. But it's like 95%, 5%. The biggest threat to world peace is ISIS ideology. So that's why, as you said, I don't speak about it as much. I do think it's something that, again, the government may not really address until something really terrible happens. But I'm sorry that you experience those things, but I don't speak about them on an equal level because I don't think they are equal.
That, for him, is the real issue, not attacking Muslims as people but criticizing an ideology and the systems that protect it from scrutiny.
Follow up to that, you said you don't hear about non-Muslims committing the same sort of crime and the same sort of scale. What would you say to someone who sees that obviously there have been a lot of evidence and reports against British troops and American troops from the West in Pakistan, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, etc. The women there, I know for a fact, I'm from Pakistan.
I know, yeah.
Lots of incidences of chopping up sort of the genitals of Pakistani soldiers in the north, that sort of thing. And obviously you don't see it being given the same sort of airtime on Western television, but all of these things are happening and feed into people's resentment against the West, or sort of not about how would you respond to that? Do you think that that is not something that also needs to be addressed?
Yeah, but I don't really know what answer I can give you to that. If people are murdering innocent people and torturing them, then it's sick, it's disgusting, they should be brought to justice. But I don't get what you're getting at with your question, in the sense of I don't take it out. Say for example, look, Christian, when I see Muslims say they feel upset and hurt because this is happening to their Muslim brothers worldwide, yeah? Well, it's happening to our Christian brothers worldwide in every single country where they're a minority. You've got Boko Haram taking slave girls, you've got all these different things going on worldwide, and I don't hate Muslims in it. People don't take it out on Muslims in this country, do you know what I mean? So it's I don't know. I don't really know how I can best answer that question. I don't agree with it. I don't support it for 1 minute. If anyone's doing that, it should be brought to justice.
I've got an opinion. I'm allowed my opinion. Prick and I want you around here. What's racist got? Racist got. Come back to where you come from.
Yeah,
no.
What are you doing? Who are you pushing?
No.
Who are you pushing? People say to me, but Tommy, you're continuously involved in violent confrontations. Well, yes, I continuously have to defend myself. There's no videos of me being the aggressor, but unfortunately, and the difference is, you see, the politicians, they have security. They don't have to walk these streets. I have to walk them. They're my streets. I have to.
This British Muslim boxer thought it was a religious cleansing when he launched an unsuspecting attack on Tommy Robinson in Dubai. But he never expected what the EDL boss did next.
Don't interview him. He's a racist prick. What are you giving him airtime for?
They are in.
It was a busy night in Dubai at a major boxing event. Tommy Robinson was standing in a bright orange shirt, calmly chatting with someone backstage. Suddenly, a tall Muslim boxer named Ty Mitchell charged in like an angry bull, towering over Tommy.
They are in it. Racist rat. They are in it. Why are you giving him airtime for?
They are in it.
Fuck him.
They are in it.
He hates Muslims, but he's in a Muslim
They are in
country.
it.
Where that one at?
They are in
He's a
it.
fucking
Yes,
prick.
right.
Don't give him no airtime.
Mate, go on,
you
say
hate
that.
Muslims like us, so why are you here? Why are you in this country?
I'm
You hate
here
Muslims.
on the invite, actually.
You hate Muslims, so why are you in a Muslim
I'm here on
country
the
for?
invite, bro.
You're a little rat.
Yeah, good one.
Uneducated little rat.
You're uneducated. You're uneducated.
You're a prick. Get the fuck out of here. You're not wanted around here.
Fuck off, you mug. Let me finish my interview. I'll finish my interview.
Fuck this interview.
Finish my interview.
He's a fucking idiot. Don't put him on no interview. Don't give him no time. The racist rat bastard. He hates Muslims, but he's in a Muslim country. Where that one at? How the fuck does that work?
Do you know how many Muslims I know? That mates with.
I
don't like terrorism. I don't like jihadis.
Neither do Muslims.
So stand up against me.
I do stand up against them. Yeah, I do. Why don't you stand up against the grooming gangs that are white? I've only ever seen you stand up against. I'm from Derby, England. Yeah. I only see you stand up against the Muslims.
With tattoos across his neck and fire in his eyes, Mitchell began shouting at Tommy, calling him a racist who hates Muslims and demanding to know why he was even in an Arab country.
What do you mean what am I doing here? I'm a professional fight for misfits. I'm a misfits fighter. What are you doing here? I'll go against anything that's against Islam.
Okay. So
Raping's against Islam. Grooming gangs are against Islam.
I'm here under the invite of Emiratis, who I'm meeting tomorrow to discuss terrorist organisations in the UK. So that's got fuck all to do
white
with
ones
you.
or just Asian ones?
I'm here to meet Emirati Muslims who work, Muslims from here, the United Arab Emirates, who work against
the problem is,
against the
let me
Muslim
tell you the issue I've got with you. The issue I've got with you is I'm not bothered. No, but I've watched this stuff, and the issue I've got is you're only against Muslims. Why when a white person does something, you don't post it?
What have I said that you disagree with? What have I said?
No, I'll tell you what you disagree. You only push a narrative against Muslims.
Give me what I've said.
I'm telling you, you only push a narrative against Muslims.
Tell me what I've said.
Why do you not? Why do you not go against all the white people that do it and all the Christians?
Shall I tell you?
In your Bible it says that if a woman doesn't pray when she covers her hair up, you don't put that out there.
Let me tell you.
Go on then.
Because 90% of the men convicted for raping young kids in gangs, 90% are Muslims.
Most of the nonsense look like you, though.
That's not my fault.
Most of the nonsense look like you.
I'm giving you a fact. I'm giving you a fact. Majority of nonsense are white. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well then. So why don't you? I don't see you pointing that shit out.
Because it's a majority white nation.
You've got an issue. You come out there. I know. I've seen you on the news with the fucking Quran saying that you're against this book. What against the Quran are you against?
Reading things out.
Yeah. Out of context. Anyone can do that out of context. I can read the Bible out of context.
Okay.
And the Bible's far worse out of context than the Quran.
Rather than arguing me, go argue with ISIS, go argue with Boko Haram, go argue with Al Qaeda.
I do. So why don't you go argue with all the paedophiles in the churches?
Okay.
Why don't you go?
Do you believe in free speech?
Yeah.
How about you
so
fuck off and let me finish my interview then?
Why is your free speech only against Muslims?
I'm not talking about Muslims.
No,
you're over
no, I'm on about that's what you're known for.
Because I've got an opinion.
You're a racist,
I'm allowed my
little
opinion.
prick and on one.
Without warning, Ty shoved Tommy hard, throwing a sneaky punch that forced Tommy to step back.
Come back to where you come from.
Yeah,
No.
what are you doing? Who are you pushing?
No.
Who are you pushing, you fanny? No.
But Tommy didn't panic. He stayed composed and responded with words sharper than fists.
Who are you pushing?
I'm just doing an interview now.
Lucky, do I look like I give a fuck about you? Do I look like I give a fuck? Do I look like I give a fuck about you?
Security rushed in as Ty tried to lunge again, but Tommy laughed it off, calling him a thug who couldn't handle real conversation. Ty didn't wait around for the consequences of his actions. He ran off looking foolish. A few days later, Mitchell released a response explaining why he confronted Tommy Robinson, whom he still believes to be a far-right Islamophobe.
I've been overwhelmingly inundated with messages. I'm talking tens of thousands of DMs. I can't even get through them all. And they're mostly from just normal, average, working people, white, British people saying, I'm so glad you stuck up for humanity.
No, I've seen you on the news with the Quran saying that you're against this book. What against the Quran are you against?
Things out.
Yeah, out of context. Anyone can do that out of context. I can read the Bible out of context.
Okay.
And there's like a lot of people, it really wasn't welcome there. Nearly everybody there was just whispering, saying, oh, Tommy's here, why is he here? And I just thought, well, there's a lot of people, obviously, that don't want him here, so I'm assuming someone will confront him or ask him to leave or whatever. And it didn't happen. I kind of just left it, but it was like stirring in my belly, and I just thought he said so much hateful things about Islam and about Muslims that I just couldn't stand there, and he was walking around with his chest out.
So come back to where you come from.
Yeah, what are you doing? Who are you pushing?
So I just thought I would confront him on his inconsistencies and contradictions and hypocrisy, really. And it's like, well, you say you hate Muslims, then you come to an Arab country.
According to his logic, large numbers of people, mostly white Brits, messaged him praising his actions and telling him he did the right thing. He admitted to pushing Tommy but continued to label him a racist spreading lies.
It's like not liking paedophiles and then going to Epstein's Island. And then also, my biggest gripe with him is not only his misinformation that he likes to spat out, and his evil rhetoric, is also the fact that you only do it against Muslims. One thing that I regret pushing him. Conscience was running high, I'm a human, I make mistakes, I shouldn't have pushed him. It was more of to prove a point that you can bully other people and intimidate other people, you can't intimidate me, I've pushed you and there's nothing you can do about it. I'll give Tommy Robinson an olive branch. I'll say, look, if you truly care about the greater good of this country, we can work together. We'll all stand together, but we have to call out everything that's wrong, not just one particular group. Some of the stuff he says is very valid and it needs to be said.
Ty bragged about his mixed background and his knowledge of the Quran, even suggesting collaboration if Tommy were willing to call out bad behavior. But it came across as excuse-making. He couldn't hide the fact that he lost the argument and resorted to violence. Once again, Tommy's truth appeared to shine through.
Awareness needs to be spread on it, but the problem he's got is he doesn't do it from a sincere place. He doesn't do it because he cares about the victims. He does it because it's a way for him to get at his racism under a guise of, oh, I'm just spreading.
But there are thousands of Muslims who openly hate the United Kingdom. They burn poppies, symbols deeply significant to soldiers who fought in the 2 world wars. There are claims that 250,000 white working-class girls from broken homes have been abused, with allegations that the majority of offenders were Pakistani Muslim men. So asking why Tommy was in Dubai is seen as ridiculous, when the same question could be asked about why such individuals come to Britain, burn the flag, burn poppies, and abuse vulnerable British girls, some of them children from broken homes.
Yeah, I just think he's a racist bigot and he's using his platform for evil and not good. My mother's white English, my dad's black Jamaican, was both born in this country, and I'm a revert to Islam. So I know what it was like to be a non-Muslim. I know what it was like to be a Muslim. I know what it's like to be a black person. I know what it's like to be a white person. I'm in a very peculiar situation where I can see it from all angles. I've educated myself on the Bible. I've read it many times. Maybe he should educate himself on the Quran by a Muslim so he knows exactly what we believe and why we believe it, and maybe he will take a bit of the hatred out of his heart.
What Ty said was underinformed and ignorant. It is argued that asking why Muslim men commit such acts against British children is not wrong. Many people think Ty sounded razor-sharp simply because they agree with him, but in reality, it was inarticulate anger driven by perceived insults toward Islam. Even after all this, Ty Mitchell still wasn't satisfied. He posted another video the day after the assault.
You lot are moving mad, yo. My Insta is flying. I can't get back to all the messages. I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages, but listen, thank you for all the messages, but I didn't need it. I was just sick of him walking around and no one saying nothing. He's a prick. And if I was a different man, the man I was before, I'd have chinned him, but that's not how we solve things these days. You've got to be the bigger man and do better for the Muslims, but fuck him, the little midget.
Not long after, Tommy Robinson sat down with Brianna Morello on InfoWars to address the incident, his face flushed with frustration.
So all of these lies continually told for 15 years, they build up an image of a satanic figure. So some people, we have left-wing activists, but some innocent people have been lied to, they've been radicalised, and they actually think when they see me, they're confronting a fascist. I'm not a fascist, they've been lied to. So I don't hold any animosity to the individuals that have been lied to. I blame the media. I blame their lies. Now, unfortunately, on this day, when I was walking, I was aggressively confronted. I was threatened continuously. Now, this was the worst, most scary week of my life, Brianna, because I expected them to get rid of the CCTV. When I was walking through, I was confronted. I had someone in my face. I was threatened. I tried to get away. I don't just go walk around punching people. I don't. In fact, I hate these situations. But I am not going to apologise for defending myself. If I am put into a position when my back is against the wall and I have no other option, I will defend myself. And I'm never going to apologise for that. And unfortunately, in this situation, when I watched the CCTV, because yes, there was these scenes of me being arrested.
For 15 years, he said, the media has painted him as a satanic figure, radicalizing the public into viewing him as a fascist. Tommy called out what he described as lies, refused to apologize for defending himself, and demanded the full video be released to expose the truth.
Because after this incident where the gentleman was left asleep on the floor, I contacted the police, I contacted them straight away. I said, this has happened. I've been aggressively confronted. I've been followed. I've been harassed. And when it got violent, as in he was coming aggressively and violently at me after I tried to get away from him for minutes, I had to defend myself, which has resulted in this situation. I made myself open to police interview. I actually spoke to the police for days, arranged to come and meet them, and then they turn up like this and meet me off the plane and make it look like I'm some fugitive, when I'm not. And when I sat in interview and I watched the video, there has never been a better example of self-defense. And as I keep saying, release the video, okay? Again, there's so many people say to me, but Tommy, you're continuously involved in violent confrontations. Well, yes, I continuously have to defend myself. There's no videos of me being the aggressor, but unfortunately, and the difference is, you see, the politicians, they have security. They don't have to walk these streets. I have to walk them. They're my streets. I have to walk them, and I walk them on my own, and I walk them with my head held high. And whilst I wish this gentleman a full recovery, I know he was not in a very good place, and he wasn't but again, it wasn't my problem. I was forced into a position of self-defense, and I defended myself.
The situation escalated further when Don Keith and James Harvey weighed in on the issue of Tommy's arrest in Luton.
But it does happen.
You know, I was seeing another thing I saw, I believe it was this week, the government has agreed to take in hundreds of kids from Gaza.
Don, apparently Tommy's been arrested.
Oh no! It says that Tommy's been arrested. I knew he was going back today. He told me he was going. He actually told me he was coming back today. He was going to turn himself in. So I figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, he's just been arrested, Luton Airport. It's all over the news.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's just like I told you, harassment causing fear of violence doesn't apply to someone harassing and causing fear of violence to Tommy Robinson. If he defends himself and he feels threatened and someone harasses him enough to make him feel threatened, he defends himself, he's not going to get the same leniency that everyone else gets. So it doesn't apply to Tommy Robinson, anyone else on the right, as a matter of fact. But, the footage is out there, man. That guy was a complete psychopath.
They criticized what they described as double standards, arguing that harassment laws fail to protect Tommy when he fights back, and referred to the attacker as a complete psychopath.
Screaming to the top of his lungs, clenched fists, and all these things. The video's there to support it. There is video footage out there that's gonna show what a psychopath this guy was. I know that for a fact, 100%. So, public opinion's gonna get to weigh in on this. Now, I don't know if they'll show the security footage that was at St. Pancras Station, but there's other footage out there. Trust me. So
it's just scummy what they've done. So they, like my auntie, who so on my mum's side, my family's very left wing, and my dad's side, they're very right wing. No. It was my auntie on my mum's side who was basically.
According to them, it's all part of a system biased against the right, veteran or not. If you issue threats, consequences follow. Later, Tommy appeared on I-24 News as fiery as ever.
We had 5 politicians who were pro-Hamas elected at our last election, and the Labour Party have recognised the Palestinian state to try and woo back some of that Muslim vote. They've surrendered our country already to jihad. Now, what they're trying to do, they're trying to blame the soccer fans from this country on the problems, which was an orchestrated, mass organised attack against Jews in Amsterdam. It was a total attack against Jews, and somehow they're making like they're the problem. So if I go to the game, which we cannot, we hear there's no-go zones. Yeah, I know many no-go zones. They've just told you, they've told the world that Birmingham is a no-go zone for Jews. That's what they've said. It's not safe. That's not me saying it. That's the police saying it. It's not safe for Jews to come. So if...
Last question. What are you going to do to make sure that, obviously what happened in Amsterdam is abominable, and the decision to not allow or ask Maccabi fans not to go is one that's viewed in Israel as outrageous. On the other hand, are you worried that if your supporters come with you, that things could get out of hand in the other direction, and what are you going to do to make sure that that...
He blasted Labour for what he called surrendering to jihad, electing pro-Hamas MPs, and banning Maccabi fans from Birmingham over safety concerns.
About that, because the last 4 events I've had, the last one had 1 million people. There's minimal trouble, minimal problems. Our supporters listen to us. I think that the government and the police should have been too concerned about the reaction of what would happen if they made it a Jew-free zone in the city of Birmingham. But they're not concerned. They're continually pandering to one community, the hostile, aggressive, violent Islamist community of our country. Birmingham is a 30% Muslim community. It's Birmingham today. In the future, what are they going to say? We can't have planes from Israel. We can't have planes from Israel because Heathrow Airport can't take them. This airport can't take them. It needs to stop. It needs to end. I'm fed up of Jews having to leave Great Britain and Jews having to leave Europe. Okay? We're replacing Jews, if you want to talk about replacement theory, we are replacing Jews with jihadists, rapists, terrorists. That's who's being replaced. The hardest working, taxpayers, well-integrated, family-orientated community are having to flee our country. I've had enough of it. And when people say never...
He went further, declaring that Brits stand with Israel, not Palestine, raging against what he described as replacing hard-working Jews with rapists and terrorists. Never again
mentioned... They're non-Muslim. No. From the sect they're from. You know my mum and dad before you. Okay, the sect your mum and dad are from, you don't recognise. My mum and dad like he knows. You know my mum and dad. What's my dad's name? The sect your mum and dad. The sect your mum and dad follow. My dad does not follow a sect. My dad's an agnostic. See, you're chatting nonsense. You lie. Listen. You said, therefore, your ideology, that means my mum and dad is a non-Muslim. I should kill them. No, Ivor. I swear to God, I don't work with IRO. You're embarrassed. I have never. I swear by Allah. Will you condemn Ivor? Will you condemn after what? And talk nonsense. You get me coming to you. And if you don't behave, I will come to you wherever you are. I was going to catch you in that breakfast.
Here's what happened when British free speech activist Tommy Robinson finally came face to face with Ali Dawa, a popular Muslim preacher who had spent years attacking him online. What was meant to be a debate turned into something far more revealing, and in the end, it backfired in ways few people expected.
It's coming out. Record it. It's recorded.
No, it's not part of me. Question time, yeah? Now you can answer my question, yeah? You're running a lot, talking a lot, you run your mouth a lot, yeah? Now you tell me where in the Quran, the Sunnah and the Islamic literature that it orders us, I'm a Muslim, I'm an Orthodox Muslim, I follow my religion to every letter. Answer my question. I'm a revert to Islam. You're a what? Yeah, I'm a revert to Islam.
So you wasn't born a Muslim?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
So anyway, don't run away. Can you show me where in the Islamic literature that it says kill innocent people?
Hold on, everyone's born Muslim.
Answer my question. Irrelevant. Irrelevant. Me being born or not, irrelevant.
Why are you shouting?
I'm not shouting.
What is the point of coming to do this?
The point here is this.
What's the point?
You're a liar.
What's the point of coming to do this?
What's the
point? What's the point of coming to do this? What's the point?
Can you answer my question, please?
Stop shouting.
Can you answer my question?
Stop shouting.
Okay, let's talk.
Stop shouting.
Let's talk.
You see, this wasn't a calm studio discussion. This was public, loud, and already tense before the first question was even answered. From the opening seconds, it's clear the Muslim guy is coming at him ready for a fight, not a polite exchange. Tommy immediately challenges Ali to stop dodging and answer questions directly.
Where in the Quran and the Sunnah it teaches us to innocent people.
Stop shouting. What's your interpretation of innocent?
Innocent people.
No,
men, women, children, kids, monks.
So your interpretation?
Yes. Not the Islamic interpretation.
Stop the job there, bro.
In the book, you say Imam Qurtubi.
Famous
You know who
Kevin,
Imam Qurtubi
yeah?
is?
Ralphie, famous that,
Imam Qurtubi, he said Imam Qurtubi.
You want to get a proper camera, bruv, like this geezer.
Where? I've
That's a
read
proper
your book.
camera.
I've gone through your book, yeah? Not your book,
took
your
the time.
friend's
How
book.
come you wasn't here
Your
earlier?
friend's book. I was here, I was a bit late.
It's
Sorry,
my
I woke a
fault.
bit late. He woke a bit late.
You missed it.
Yeah. So look. You claim
Talk to me. Talk to me.
I'm talking
Talk
to you.
Okay.
I'm talking to you. Can you say
Stop.
in your friend's book you said Imam Qurtubi? Do you know who Imam Qurtubi is?
Yes.
Okay, who is he?
You're an apostate.
I
mean, you're a revert.
I'm an apostate now. I'm a revert. I'm an apostate. Yeah.
You're a revert. You're a revert.
Where does it teach to kill innocent
Hold on.
people?
Was you born a Muslim?
Ali responds by talking fast, mocking, interrupting, trying to stay on top of the moment. It's a familiar tactic. Keep the energy high, keep control of the room, and never let the other person slow things down. But Tommy does the opposite. He slows it down, coming back to specifics. And that's where things turn sour.
I was born a Muslim.
I was born Muslim?
Yes.
So you wasn't a revert?
No, I reverted back.
So you reverted back, but your mum and dad are Muslim?
Yeah. Irrelevant.
No, your mum and dad are Muslim. So
irrelevant.
So you're not recognising your mum and dad as
Irrelevant.
Muslims? No, it's not relevant.
Irrelevant.
Because you don't accept their faith as Muslims.
Irrelevant.
Do you recognise your mum and dad as Muslims?
My mum accepted it.
Do you recognise your
my dad is a non-Muslim.
Do you
My dad is a
recognise?
non-Muslim.
Do you recognise your mum and dad's sect as Islamic, as followers of Islam?
No. And your point is.
My point is.
No. You're diverting the topic.
Listen.
This is not going to happen.
Listen, Ali. My point. Let me make my point.
I'm here to talk about your book.
My point is that your mum and dad's sect. No, listen.
This is Ali Troll Watch. You go and find people that found you. You've been running away.
Let me talk.
But on topic.
Tell him. No, listen. So he won't recognise his mum and dad as followers of Islam. He won't recognise that. Now that is the reason that people who follow your mum and dad's sect under Islam are murdered and terrorised as apostates.
By who?
As apostates. By radical Muslims, because they don't recognise, they do what you're doing, they do not recognise.
A few minutes in, the discussion turns to identity and belief. Tommy brings up something Ali has said publicly before, about changing his name and rejecting the beliefs of his parents. On the surface that sounds personal. But Tommy isn't making it personal for drama. He's making a point.
Do not recognise that another group of people who follow Islam are Muslims, do you? Like you just said. That's why you call yourself a revert. Now, because of that ideology. No, listen. Because of your ideology.
Are you a Muslim?
No, of course
I'm
not.
Are they Muslim?
No, thankfully.
Are they Muslim?
Thankfully, the majority of people.
Okay,
listen.
My
point is that because of your ideology and that view, you don't even view your own mum and dad as being Muslim because they don't follow the same interpretation of Islam as you.
And your point
which is the reason why they're murdered. It's the reason why radical jihadists are killing them worldwide.
So you should be murdering your mum and dad.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So shall we kill my mum and dad?
Do you not recognise?
Should I kill my mum and dad then?
You tell me, bro. Do
there
you
you go.
recognise?
You see this guy's ignorant.
Should
Don't talk about my religion.
You sit with Ivor. You sit with Ivor.
You get exposed like that. You get exposed like that.
You sit with Ivor.
I listen to you. Can you listen to me?
Abdul Rahim Green.
I listen to you.
Abdul Rahim Green.
Don't change it. Look at this guy. He went to my mom, my dad, my granddad, my grandmother.
I went to your mum to point out the fact. I went out to your mum to point out the fact. You call yourself a revert, which means you don't accept your mum and dad as being Muslims or true Muslims. Okay. And because of that, across the Islamic world, Muslims are being murdered because they.
He asks a simple question. In parts of the Islamic world, people who leave Islam, are they seen as apostates? Are they punished or killed? So what does Ali's belief system say about people like his own parents, or anyone else who doesn't follow his interpretation of Islam? Ali immediately tries to brush this off. But Tommy doesn't move on. He keeps pressing because this isn't abstract. This is about real people being harmed in real countries today.
Apostates. Because they're viewed as apostates. Because he doesn't recognise them as following Islam. Because they're viewed as apostates, people want to kill them. Now you just told me you don't recognise your mum and dad's interpretation of Islam as being followers of Muslims.
They're not Muslim.
No. From the sect they're from.
You know my mum and dad better than you.
Okay, the sect your mum and dad are from, you don't recognise.
My mum and dad like he knows. You know my mum and dad. What's my dad's name?
The sect your mum and dad. The sect your mum and dad follow.
My dad does not follow a sect. My dad's an agnostic. See, you're chatting
No,
nonsense. You lie. Listen. You said, therefore, your ideology. That means my mum and dad is a non-Muslim. I should kill them.
No.
Okay.
Did I say every single Muslim?
Okay, which one? Which one?
Don't go off there, man.
Okay.
Look, you work with Ira.
I swear to God, I don't work with Ira. You're embarrassed. I have never. I swear by Allah.
Will you condemn Ira? Will you condemn Abdul Rahim?
Why?
Will you condemn them?
Because of you,
okay, Abdul Rahim Green says on YouTube.
Stick to the topic.
Condemn him.
No, why would I?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why now.
Okay, condemn Britain first.
Yeah, I'll condemn.
There you go. Because you support them. You support them.
I'll tell you
what. You support them.
I'll tell you.
They are the reason why Joe Cox got killed, and you are the reason why Darren Osman ran over innocent people. And ISIS is the reason. ISIS is the reason why we Muslims get killed and innocent Muslims get killed. So you're a liar. No, that's right.
The thing is, when you slow the conversation down like that, it gets uncomfortable. And that's exactly what Tommy is doing to piss him off. Ali tries all known tricks in the book to no avail. He raises his voice, swears, uses cuss words, and talks over Tommy. But he doesn't actually answer the question. And then comes one of the first turning points.
A terrorist organisation. Do you support?
Do you support
Hezbollah?
Tommy, you're cornered.
I'm cornered. Are you watching the same thing?
You're cornered.
Go, brother. You got that. Are you watching the same thing? Are you watching the same thing?
So I'm going to stick to the topic. Can you show me anywhere in my religion? This is the Quran. You wrote a book called Why Muslims Kill for Islam. Yeah.
Innocent people.
Can you show me a single verse in the Quran? I listen to you. Have some respect. I'm just asking simple questions. Tommy is the one who wrote a book called Why Muslims Kill for Islam. I went through that book. In that book, he says, in Islam, murder means kindness. What the hell? He said, let me finish. I've listened to you. You listen to me. Yeah. So we're going to shout over each other like kids.
I'm listening.
So I'm asking for this. This is what I'm asking for. Yeah. ISIS, who are running over innocent non-Muslims on the streets, has that got anything to do with my religion? If so, can you bring me a single verse from the Quran, the whole Quran that you got, and put it in your book?
Do you hate where it says Quran?
Let me finish. Look.
Excuse me, who are you?
You smiling.
Who are you?
I don't know.
Who are you?
You smiling. No, brother. He's gonna use it. He's gonna use it as an escape route. Yeah.
Another random Muslim. Another random
Muslim. Now, yeah.
You're a comedian, Ali.
Okay, let me do my comedy then, innit? Let me do my comedy, yeah?
You do comedy every day.
Lucy's laughing. Anyways, I'm asking for a single verse in the Quran, in the Hadith, the entire Islamic literature that says, let me finish, I'm nearly finished, that says Muslims, for you guys to be a good Muslim and die as a martyrdom, go jihad, do jihad, go and kill innocent people.
You see how he so focuses on the word innocent people? Because his view, or Islamic worldview of innocent, would say...
I'm still with the camera. Let me express myself.
Okay, tell me one thing. You asked me a question, yeah?
Why touching me?
Tell me how Muhammad met his wife Sophia.
What's that?
Tommy says very plainly that by Ali's ideology, people like his parents would be considered outside the faith. And in many Islamic legal systems, that comes with deadly consequences. Watch what Ali does at this point.
Let me tell you. No, I know. No problem. It feels like a blow. In the Battle of Khaybar. And Battle of Khaybar, the Jews were plotting to kill the Prophet. And you also said, look, you're an ignorant guy. You're embarrassing yourself. You said the Prophet killed 600 Jews. Yeah? The Prophet had a treaty which said that they will respect both parties. The Muslims will respect the Jews and the Christians, and they will live in harmony. But the free tribes, majority of the Jews, stuck to the treaty. Free tribes tried to assassinate the Prophet, he exiled them. The second one tried to assassinate the Prophet, he exiled them. The third one, what did the third one do? Imagine Russia and Britain is going to war, and America supplies Russia with weapons to attack Britain.
How did he meet his wife?
That's called breaking the treaty.
How did he meet his wife?
So, therefore, I told you, at the Battle of Khaybar, he invaded the castle.
He beheaded her, so her husband was...
Notice how he deflects, accuses Tommy of lying, and tries to move on. And you can feel it that something isn't sitting right. Either he is trying to hide something or he is plain clueless.
Hold on, wait, let me clarify something. So her husband was killed,
yes,
and that night, so her husband and her brother were killed, they were murdered, and that night, listen, calm down, listen.
I'm calm down. So get your phone, I go on Facebook, yeah. This is Ali's troll watch.
And just when he's about to be caught, Ali changes tactics again. Ali, clearly angry now, says words to the effect of, "I will come to you wherever you are."
and talk nonsense, you get me coming to you. And if you don't behave, I will come to you wherever you are. I was going to catch you.
He says it's so quick and heated you almost miss it, but it lands hard all the same. Tommy immediately calls it out, because at that point it doesn't sound like debate. It sounds like a threat.
Oh, when you go and see these ISIS scumbags, who in my name, shall I tell you something? ISIS is a bigger danger to me. You know why?
We're talking about
Sophia.
I'm coming, Sophia.
We're talking about Sophia. You know why? Because ISIS, they look like us, they talk like us, they walk like us.
They act like you.
And
they act like you.
Okay, there you go.
Okay,
thank you. You know what? You made me remember something. You claim I'm a jihadi. 1 second. You claim I'm a jihadi. You claim I'm a jihadi. Can you show me?
Are you from jihad? What is jihad? Oh, what does it mean for you? What does it mean?
No. Jihad means church. What the church is.
Nah, Jihadi Tom sounds like.
Jihad means the following. You have Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany is
struggle.
Of course it's struggle. Brother, let them laugh. They laugh is not going to save them.
Maybe you need to go tell the 2,000 British Muslims that went to join ISIS there.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to preach them. What are you actually, Ali? What are you doing even preaching it to me? There's 2,000 Muslims in this country who went and fought ISIS. They're walking around us. They're in our country now.
And this is the point Tommy asks something very basic.
Murdered her husband and her brother, and you think she willingly married him that night? You think that? You really look at me.
Do you have any evidence that he didn't?
Evidence he didn't.
Do you have any evidence of something he didn't?
Do you think any woman after her husband's murdered in front of her would marry a man that night?
Are you an expert? Are you an expert in my religion?
Are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are?
Yes. Not an expert, but I know better than you.
Yeah, of course you do.
What do you know about my religion?
No, listen to me.
I'm listening to you.
Answer one question.
I'm listening to you.
Do you think after murdering a man?
Yes.
You think?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. And laughing is not going to save you.
Sorry,
you know it's one of those ones.
Hold on. Let me clarify that. He beheaded her husband.
Why?
He beheaded. No, listen.
Why? Give a context.
Does it matter?
It's like saying, how can you have context? Churchill killed Hitler.
He beheaded her husband.
If someone murdered you, Excuse me. This is war. You're making it seem like they were going.
Tommy circles back to the core issue again and again. Apostasy, Sharia law, real consequences. And after nearly 40 minutes, Ali finally says the quiet part out loud.
Treason.
So leaving Islam treason.
This
is why in Scotland,
brother, are you recording?
In Scotland, the young Muslim was murdered in a shop because he followed a different sect of Islam. Because he's viewed as apostate. So because he's an apostate, as Ali just said, you believe
slaughtered by the lorry load.
In Islamic country, if someone changes their mind, they should be punished.
No, that's the law of the land.
But do you believe in that?
That's the law of the land.
Will you condemn that law?
No, why would I condemn it for?
You
condemn treason? Do you condemn treason? America does. To Edward Snowden.
Changing your mind.
Edward Snowden.
Changing your mind is treason.
You don't like it, do you?
What's treason?
Yeah. When is Edward?
Ali admits under Islamic law, apostates should be killed. Yeah, he said that himself. And that's where everything backfires. Because for years, Ali has presented himself as a voice of moderation, insisting that Islam has nothing to do with violence. But here, under pressure, he just admitted that leaving the religion can carry a death sentence.
Changing your mind. Is this the expose of Tommy Robinson? This is going to be the expose. This is going to be the expose of Tommy Robinson.
He's saying
one by one, believing Islam is okay.
Edward Snowden.
He's killing people.
Edward Snowden.
Will you condemn killing people?
Would you condemn Edward Snowden being hidden in Russia?
Yeah, I condemn.
No, you don't.
Listen to me. Will you condemn killing people believing Islam?
No, why? Condemn what? In an Islamic country.
Listen to me exposing Tommy Robinson.
You're trying everything. Right now,
a man believes people can be killed for changing their mind. Yeah, he's exposing me.
Wait.
You just said
anyone that leaves Islam in this country, you cannot touch him.
Not in this country. Anywhere in
the world. What about anywhere in the world?
Your moral view.
In Saudi Arabia.
Anywhere in the world.
Saudi Arabia. They have a punishment for those. 1 second. They have a punishment for people who rape girls, grooming gangs. You know what happens to them?
Then the conversation moves into even darker territory where Tommy asks about the age of consent under Sharia law. And at this moment, Ali refuses to give a clear age. He avoids answering whether a child who has reached puberty could be married.
They have to see the ink going in the penis.
Yes.
That's always going to happen.
No, exactly. So that's the point. That's why Islam is here for a mercy. Because which four people are going to walk and be like, oh, look at that. Oh, look, they're having intercourse. Who's going to do that? That's why Islam is here to do that. So, what's the word called? So, thought the word. People don't. They don't do it. They're scared of it. They're scared of it. They're scared of it. That's why. So, anyways, coming back to the main topic here.
So say a woman gets raped. Say a woman gets raped. Say a woman gets raped in Saudi Arabia by one man, and no one sees it.
Yes.
Then nothing can happen.
No, they go to the court of law. They go to judge, and the judge might get the capital punishment.
So under Islamic law,
and you will love that.
Under Islamic law,
what do you think should happen to those groomers?
Listen to me.
Those grooming gangs. What should happen to them?
Under Islamic law.
What do you want to happen to them?
Under Islamic law, they can't get done, can they?
No. Yes, they would.
Under Sharia.
Are you mad?
Under Sharia.
Yeah, you love Sharia now, don't you? You love Sharia now, don't you?
Under Sharia, they
For
wouldn't
grooming gangs, you love it. For terrorists, you love it. Yes, exactly. There you go. So now you follow Sharia. Tommy Robinson follows Sharia. Can you believe it? Tommy Robinson follows Sharia.
For them to get done.
Do you agree with that law?
Do I believe in
that
what?
grooming gangs? You know these filthy scum dirtbags who've been raping little girls, who drink alcohol, haram, who rape girls, haram, who go clubbing, haram. These scumbags.
If you go to Dubai,
what should be the punishment?
You go to Dubai regularly.
You go to Dubai regularly.
What should be the punishment? What do you do when you're in Dubai?
What's the punishment?
What do you do when you're in Dubai? Look at me, Ali.
I do a lot of stuff.
Ali, what do you do when you're in Dubai?
A lot of stuff.
What do you do in certain clubs in Dubai, Ali?
Notice how he talks around it instead, doing what he does best, dodging and deflecting. And sometimes what someone won't say matters more than what they will. He grew visibly uncomfortable when Tommy contrasted it with modern law, child protection, and basic moral standards. The confidence from the opening minutes is totally gone. What's left is defensiveness.
Just so it's black and white people to hear.
Can you get water? I'll pay you the money.
Will you condemn people being murdered in Islamic countries for leaving Islam? Will you condemn that?
That's the law of that land. I have no say in that.
So you won't condemn it?
I have no say in that. No, he's getting it.
So you won't condemn it?
Oh, he doesn't like our water. Halal water.
Will you condemn it?
Look, I follow. If the Sharia says X, I follow X.
So Sharia says kill him.
If Sharia says X, I follow X. I have no one.
He believes in killing people for leaving Islam.
No. Sorry.
If Sharia says X, so legal age for sex, Ali, tell us what you think the legal age for sex be.
I don't find nothing.
What do you think the legal age for sex?
Not me.
Okay, so Sharia.
She has to be mentally, sexually, physically ready.
What's the legal age? What's the legal age under Sharia?
See, that's no age.
There is no age.
17, 18, 19, 20.
12.
Okay? No, if she's mature, she's ready for marriage.
So who decides if she's mature?
Allah and His Messenger.
Allah and His Messenger decide if she's mature?
Yes.
Because Aisha was 9, so she was mature.
No.
So if
nice
the law
try.
he follows...
Tommy, nice try.
No, hold on, bruv, hold on.
Okay.
Allah decides if she's
Finish your
mature.
preaching.
So if there's a 12-year-old girl who started puberty, could she be okay to have sex and be married?
One second. If she started puberty. If I'm not mistaken, when you go on Google and write what is a child, you can see that, no, an adult, it says that anyone who has started a menstrual cycle. So, you are an adult. But that doesn't mean I get my daughter and be like, okay, darling, it's time for you to get married now. No. I would say, no. Do you want to get married? No. Then you don't get married. Forced marriages are haram in Islam.
No, forced marriage, bro.
So now, don't change the topic.
I'm asking you. No, you haven't answered
all your questions. I didn't avoid none of them. You have been avoiding me.
No.
I didn't. You asked about Safi, I answered. The Prophet's marriage, I answered.
Under your
apostate, I answered. All of them, I answered.
Under your beautiful world, yeah. Under the way you'd see the world, or you want to see the world.
Right now, it's quite.
By the end of the exchange, Ali tries to turn the tables, accusing Tommy of spreading hate and putting Muslims at risk. But it doesn't land well, because the audience has already heard everything in Ali's own words. He keeps asking if Tommy is an expert in Islamic religion over and over, like that alone settles the issue.
Parents to make the decision on whether they can have sex.
To get propaganda, yeah?
Brother, you believe in cavemen.
Are you an expert on
cavemen?
Are you an expert on terrorism?
Cavemen.
Are you an expert on terrorism?
Are you going to quote some
expert
who said Muslims?
There you go. Exactly. Scott Atran. Look, I said Scott Atran. And no, one second.
While we're here, this is supposed to be Tommy Robinson getting exposed.
You got exposed.
And he's exposed how he believes in paedophilia.
You got finished.
He's exposed how he believes Muslims who leave Islam should be punished.
I told you guys I'm going to catch him. I told you guys. I told you guys.
I can't believe he thinks he's
I told you more games.
I told you guys.
Anyways,
good for him.
Anyways, you got destroyed,
Every
man.
question he's been answered.
He's wrote a book. Why
killed
Muslims
for
kill for
leaving
Islam? I got quote me one verse.
Do you think men should have sex with children? Yes, because Allah commands it.
How did you find it?
Ask their parents.
How did I find it?
It's on the sheet. It's on the sheet.
What's she? What are you talking about, she? No, they shout me out, man, not you, man. Don't get excited.
They like
Ali's finding you found it.
You wish. Well done, Ali. Well done, Ali. You turned up today and you let everyone know that.
Ali Dawa came into this confrontation expecting to dominate, to intimidate, to control the narrative. Instead, he revealed positions that most ordinary people, Muslim and non-Muslim alike, find deeply troubling. And that's why it backfired.
I understand from you, which is why I've come to talk to you, is what's made you think that I should be killed, silenced, in a topic which we've established you don't know that much about? Do you think I should be silenced?
I don't think free speech means that you can just say anything you like, be it racist or.
We have laws in our country which against inciting racism, which I've never broken. I've never been done for. So, do you think I should be silenced from criticising Islam?
The Board of Deputies of British Jews says you're a thug, and they say that you represent the worst of Britain.
And where are the Board of Deputies now?
They're in the UK representing British Jews.
They're representing British Jews. Who voted for them to represent British Jews?
Did you vote for them? You're not even Jewish.
No,
Are you Jewish?
I'm Jewish.
You're in our country. Do you support
It's propaganda to the public from the establishment that lies about me as a journalist. But don't worry, because you're controllable. Yeah, I get it. You're worried about losing your job. I'm not.
Here's what happened when British free speech advocate and EDL leader Tommy Robinson ran into some tweeter troll who called for his murder online and then deleted the tweet the minute Tommy messaged him.
So, I've had a tweet saying, basically inciting murder against me.
Tommy's encounter with the lad will show you how a single message, or a tweet as in this case, sent casually, calling for something that should never be said out loud, could lead to very disastrous consequences. The tweet in question isn't framed as a plan or a threat with detail. It's thrown out like a dare, like words without weight. But the moment it appears, it crosses a line.
It's took me 5 minutes. I've got his name. He's now deleted. Once he's seen, I've messaged him. He's deleted his whole Twitter handle. It's took me 5 minutes to get his Facebook. It's took me 10 minutes to find out the school he went to. 15 minutes to find out where he is. So, you see messages like this, which are criminal offences. I've given the police 300 of these. Threats to kill my family, murder my wife and kids. They don't act. They do not arrest these people. They don't arrest them because I'm a white, working class kid. If someone says anything about someone being black, brown, anything to do with religion, they kick their door off. I said so.
Tommy Robinson isn't shocked anymore by acts like this. He has received tons of messages wishing death on him, his family, even his children. And guess what? He reports them every single time. The police are aware, but nothing usually happens. And soon the messages pile up and life goes on. That's the background to everything that follows. So this one isn't an isolated comment. It's part of a pattern he's learned to live with. But what changes this time is how easy it is to trace the face behind the post.
This lad, what I want to do now is I want to go see him. I want to go see him and find out what's driven him to a point that he feels it's an acceptable decision that I have to be murdered for my belief. Because looking at him, looking at the area he's from a completely 99.9% white town. There's not one Muslim or mosque there, not one. I've gone through all the demographics, it took me 15 minutes. So, yeah, I think we should go now, give him a knock and see what he's got to say.
Hi, is here, please? Is it uni? Yeah. I'm sorry to bother you here. Yesterday has incited murder against myself online. What your son said yesterday. Please, someone just murder Tommy Robinson. That's a crime. That's a criminal offence. I give you my phone number. Tell your son to ring me.
Tommy doesn't frame this encounter as a boast, but as a reality of the digital age. Because the same tools people use to hide behind screens can just as easily expose them. And in this case, he doesn't want revenge. He just wants to understand what drives someone, especially someone probably still young, to think it's acceptable to call for another person's death over political disagreement. That question becomes the spine of his quest.
Hello, is that Tommy? Who's that?
It's
How you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, not too bad. I just had a call from my mum, so
Can we arrange to meet up? Listen.
What's striking here is how quickly the online world collapses into the real one. The tweet that may have felt abstract now has consequences that involve parents, homes, and real conversations. The son isn't confronted immediately. A meeting is arranged instead. Even here, boundaries are set. The conversation can happen, but there's hesitation about cameras, about exposure. That hesitation already signals regret.
Conversation now. I want to meet you. That's it.
okay, I get that, but can we not have a camera there? That's the only thing I'm saying.
I'm having a camera everywhere I go. I always do.
I can meet tomorrow and just.
Let's meet tomorrow.
This, I hope, will act as a warning to every troll out there. Rebel Troll Watch. Aiden. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad.
When Tommy finally sets eyes on him, he discovers the person who wrote the message is no longer a username. He's nothing but a polite and nervous university student. At this point, the issue becomes less about the tweet itself and more about why it happened. Then he asks one simple question.
Can I ask you what it is I've said or done, yeah, that even if you didn't want me murdered, what it is about me or what I've said that you feel so strongly against?
Just don't agree with what you do. And obviously that's no excuse for posting that, but I just disagree with sort of stirring up hate against minorities, against Muslims, sort of with the Westminster attack. I don't think you should have been on TV like after that.
Can you give me one example of what I've said or done that incites hate?
Well, just being a part of the EDL and street protesting against the whole of Islam, to me that's sort of, you know, just I mean, I'm sure you've heard all these like opinions before, but...
Notice how the student struggled to answer that clearly. He mentions protests, media presence, general feelings of stirring hate. But when pressed for specific examples, things become vague.
Because I protested against Islam, you take that as stirring hate?
Well, yeah, because for example, if you blame the London attack, the Westminster attack, other things like the Paris attacks on a whole religion, on about 1 billion people, then it's going to get people to, it's going to incite violence from other people towards, you know, just moderate Muslims, for example.
Can I ask you now, what education you have on Islam? Because the problem is, like, when I say, you say, I'm not opposing 1 billion people, I think Muslims are victims of Islam, I'm not against all Muslims, yeah? I've come here today because so many people like yourself, you know what you nearly done? You nearly threw your career away, you nearly threw your job away. That's what you need done, because, you know, if that's a criminal offence, I don't want to prosecute you. I won't support prosecution against you. I don't want to get you to get done, yeah? You've probably had a sleepless night or a worry, yeah? Right? I'm not about that. What I need to understand is why people like yourself, who are from very different backgrounds to me, you haven't lived the life I've lived. I've got a cousin who's gang raped by Muslim gangs. I've got a friend's dad who was murdered by a Muslim gang. I've got friends who are hooked on heroin and died from...
This moment mirrors something familiar to anyone who's watched online outrage up close. There are lots of strong emotions loosely connected to facts. Opinions formed from headlines rather than deep engagement. A sense that someone is dangerous without being able to clearly explain why.
I've grown up with people, people I've grown up with are now fighting for ISIS, who have been killed fighting for ISIS. That's my life. It's a life you don't understand. Yeah. So what I'm just trying to understand from you, which is why I've come to talk to you, is what's made you think that I should be killed, silenced, in a topic which we've established you don't know that much about? Do you think I should be silenced?
I don't think free speech means that you can just say anything you like, be it racist or...
We have laws in our country which against inciting racism, which I've never broken, I've never been done for. So do you think I should be silenced from criticising Islam?
Notice when Tommy then shifted the discussion again, asking about knowledge, what the student actually know about Islam, about the issues being discussed. The student admits his understanding is limited. And here the contrast between lives becomes important.
Honestly, be honest, mate. I'm not here intimidating you in any way. I'm just asking I'm trying to get to the bottom of a real generation of children in our country, like yourself, who have lived in areas where you've had quite a privileged lifestyle, living in beautiful towns where there's no Muslims, where there's no immigration. I'm trying to understand your mindset.
Well, you're not part of a political party, so it is strange to me that you get so much coverage. It's not just you; it's other people. Katie Hopkins, Nigel Farage. They're not involved in politics. But as soon as they say something controversial, the cameras go straight to them. They get a radio show on LBC, a weekly thing, like all in the public eye.
One of the most revealing moments comes when the idea of silencing speech is raised. With what the student has to say about that.
I think that's a bit wrong.
Do you think I should be silenced from criticising Islam? Listen to other people's opinions. And if you want to criticise me, you could just criticise me without threatening murder. Or incite you, yeah?
That does make sense, yeah.
All right, sound.
Sorry.
No worries. All right, good luck.
This incident mirrors what happens in other real-world cases people have seen before. Students expelled for posts they thought were jokes, careers ended over tweets written years earlier, apologies that come too late because the internet never forgets. The difference here is timing. The lesson arrives early enough to matter.
It's a whole different upbringing in a whole different world, but what the problem we have so many times is that people from that upbringing and people from that world think it's okay for us to be treated with violence. We visited this kid today at his university. He seemed like a nice kid. He's made a mistake, and I think he's learned from it.
The incident shows how the student's recklessness got a response that forced reality back into focus. But the next time Tommy ran into issues like this with an online troll, it didn't end so well for them.
Fine. Can you talk about Lindsay Hilton, Channel 4 News?
Channel 4 News?
Yeah, that's us.
So all you do is lie. So whatever you're going to ask, you've travelled all the way here, probably on a propaganda piece, to try and attack me. Let me tell you. Can I tell you the answer quickly, and then you can ask your question? More people are going to watch our video than yours.
Fine.
You have become totally irrelevant in every aspect. You lie. You smeared Israel. You're on the side of Hamas. You're humiliation, and no one cares what you say anymore. Now ask your question.
What I'm interested to know is that the Board of Deputies of British Jews says you're a thug, and they say that you represent the worst of Britain.
And where are the Board of Deputies now?
They're in the UK representing British Jews.
They're representing British Jews. Who voted for them to represent British Jews?
Did you vote for them? You're not even Jewish.
No,
Are you Jewish?
I'm Jewish.
You're in our country. Do you support
it's fine.
I don't think that's relevant.
So, can I ask you something?
No, because I'm asking you because I'm a journalist.
This works both. I'm a journalist. This works both ways.
So what
Do you support Palestinian state?
This woke Channel 4 reporter flew all the way to Israel to do a hit piece on Tommy Robinson, only to be destroyed mercilessly by the free speech champion. An absolute masterclass.
I'll answer your question once you answer one of mine. I'll answer your question once you answer one of mine.
I am not giving my opinion because I am a neutral reporter for
You're a neutral reporter.
What I would like to know.
What I would like to know is, do you support the state of Palestine being recognised under the Palestinian Authority?
And what I would like to know.
Will you answer that question?
No, wait.
You support a terrorist state. Come on. You support a terrorist state. You've flown into Israel whilst you support a terrorist state.
And please don't invoke the Jewish community because there's a lot. I walk the streets with Tommy Robinson both here and on the streets of Jerusalem, and British Jews thank him. The Jewish Board of Deputies don't represent the Jewish community.
Hold on. Listen, let's have an adult conversation, yeah? I'll ask you a question, you ask me a question. You're a journalist, I'm a journalist. I'll answer any question you want.
The Board of British Deputy Jews says you're not a journalist. They say you're a thug who represents the worst of it. That's what they say. So I'm asking you to respond to that allegation.
I'll respond to that. Have you watched any of the content I've produced since I've been in Israel?
I have, yes.
And is it good journalism? What about the interview with Thomas Hand, whose 8-year-old daughter Emily was kidnapped?
Tommy Robinson had come from Britain to show support for Israel after a terrible attack on October 7th. He was making videos and live streams to tell people back home the real story about life there. He believed Israel was a safe home for Jewish people, surrounded by dangers.
I have seen many interviews with her, and
you're dodging the question. Answer the question. You're saying I'm not a journalist. You're saying I'm not a journalist.
In the UK, you are considered a far-right activist.
Okay. Do you call this journalism? Have you come here and spoke to any second or third generation Muslims who live in the state of Israel and asked them about Israel? Have you?
I've been coming here for 30 years.
Answer the question. Okay.
Yes.
Answer the question. Do you recognise the British government recognising a Palestinian state under the Palestinian Authority? Do you?
I have reported it because I have reported it for 30 years
I'm asking
without
you a question.
ever
Do you
giving
support
my
it?
opinion.
What's your opinion?
I'm not giving my opinion.
Why not?
Because I am a journalist who's been reporting
Shall I answer this? I'm not giving my opinion.
Fine.
You're very happy to give your opinion about Tommy Robinson.
So let me give you a message to the Board of Deputies Jews. You do not represent the British Jewish community. You have stood with a two-state solution. You can't have a two-state solution with terrorists or jihadists. I don't support that.
Then out of nowhere, Tommy and his friend are approached by an older woman by name Lindsay Hilsum, a reporter from Channel 4 News in the UK. She had flown all the way to Israel just to talk to him, in a bid to ask very tough questions. But Tommy was ever ready. He didn't let her take control. Instead, he turned the tables.
Homeland for the Jewish people. There's 55 Islamic nations. Let the Jews have one. This is their homeland. Historically, biblically, it's their land. Okay, there's no argument about it. I don't support Hamas. I'm totally opposed by Hamas. You have travelled here. You've took all your time. This is what you call journalism. Do you know what journalism is? What I've done in South Tel Aviv. Do you know what journalism is? What I've done at the Nova Festival. Do you know what journalism is? What I've done since I've been here. And I guarantee you, British Jews and Jews around the world will watch my journalism and they'll applaud it, and they're going to watch your journalism and be ashamed of it. That's the reality. There's between me and you say you've been a journalist for 30 years. How many people are watching your journalism? You don't understand it yet, but you are literally like dying with a terminal illness. You are finished. Then no one cares about the mainstream media. They watch us. We are now the media. Now, you don't like that. I understand that. And that's why your producers and the government, they want you to fly here and they want you to come here and attack us. But what you don't understand...
They argued back and forth in the dim light, with chat messages popping up on the screen from fans cheering Tommy on. It appears he successfully defended his love for Israel, saying there were already many Islamic countries, so Jews deserved their one homeland. And in a true Tommy fashion, he accused Channel 4 of siding with terrorists like Hamas.
Come here to attack us like this, more people are going to support us. People hate you.
They've had enough of your lies. What have your lies about Israel since the start of this conflict? And then you have the audacity to come to the state of Israel and stand here and attack me whilst I'm coming to tell the truth about Israel. That's you, your Channel 4. Okay? Everyone's had enough of you. How many people do you think watch, or actually, how many people do you think actually, generally, as you've seen when I've asked you some questions here today, I've simply asked you some simple questions which you won't give your opinion of. People know when I answer, I mean it. They know the work I do, I care about. You don't care. You will say whatever for your bosses. I won't. I will come, I will find the truth, and I will report it. That's what I do. Okay? So unfortunately for Channel 4, which you've done hit piece after hit piece after hit piece, you haven't just done hit piece against me, you've done hit pieces against Israel. You've been pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas. That's your reporting. Okay? That's your reporting, not mine. I stand on the side of freedom, democracy, equality. This is a Western civilization which is under threat and surrounded.
Notice how he had turned her interview into his own powerful message. The video spread online with people saying Tommy had outsmarted the big media reporter. It was a clash of views in a faraway land, all caught on camera for the world to see.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to show solidarity after October 7th, and I'm here on a fact-finding mission to give the British public the facts on what it's like in the state of Israel. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Tell the board of deputies I said hello.
Channel 4, isn't that the one?
Even after that brutal encounter, media trolls won't stop coming at him. Like this moment when Tommy Robinson was confronted by a stubborn ITV journalist.
If you was a journalist, you'd have watched my film, you'd have understand why I'm in court today. You don't even know why I'm in court. So what are you doing here?
Well, when it all comes out, it'll come out in court.
Well, no, what will come out is your headline. That's the problem. What comes out is your headline. Okay? And your headline, but your headline is based on no investigation. You've just said that. Okay, these men tracked down my family. They photographed innocent members of my family and put them in danger. I then said to them, do you think I should be able to ask journalists questions? Do you think I should be able to contact a journalist and say, I'm going to ask you a question on camera? Do you think?
Well, I think that everyone has an opinion.
Okay, so do you think I should be able to contact a journalist? Say you're a journalist now, yeah? So I know who you are now. Yeah. Should I be able to send you a message saying I'm going to come with my camera and ask you questions like you've done to me?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I
don't. Do you believe in free speech and free press?
I do.
So you believe in free press?
Yeah.
So I'll ask you again, do you think I should be able to contact a journalist and tell him I want to ask him a question on camera?
I think you need to perhaps put it through to ITV, the news desk.
So I need to put it through to ITV on the news desk. Did the Daily Mail put it through to me when they secretly, covertly recorded my daughter, my ex-wife, and they put pictures of her in a national newspaper endangering her? Is that right? Do you think that's right what the Daily Mail did?
No.
So, okay, so you don't think that's right what the Daily Mail did? I'm facing 10 years in jail for saying I want to ask them a question on camera. Do you think that's right? Do you think we've maybe got a biased justice and judiciary? How am I even in court today? They endangered my family. How are you, honestly, you seem like a nice bloke. How are you been sent here and you haven't even looked into this? Because you're going to now just run a headline, and your headline is total lies. So what you're doing is you're feeding propaganda to the public from the establishment that lies about me as a journalist. But you know why? Because you're controllable, yeah? I get it. You're worried about losing your job. I'm not. So they can't control me.
He tells the reporter to his face that his station is feeding propaganda to the public. He knows it's wrong. He knows Tommy is right. But he refuses to criticize the justice system.
People like you and say they're lying. This is how they're lying, right? And that's what I do. And because they don't like that, I get tied up through these courts. Lawfare after lawfare after lawfare. I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. Other, my only crime, 2 crimes. Being an uncontrollable journalist and being a decade ahead of the rest of the population on the problem. Now I have to get into court because I don't upset the judge anymore, yeah?
Why do online trolls go after people like Robinson who only want what's best for Britain and the wider world? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Kindly like and subscribe for more.
You can look. You see that? And you can look. Okay.
One way this is going to go, you're going to end up knocked down unconscious.
Francesca.
Sheer blatancy.
Sometimes the internet tells you a story, and sometimes you have to walk straight into it to see for yourself.
Don't touch that, you give no, not get it.
This one.
Back in 2018, in the middle of a heated election season in Italy, Tommy Robinson found himself standing in one of the busiest and most tense places in Rome, outside the city's main train station, where a disturbing video had just gone viral.
In Rome to cover the Italian election, I come across a video online of a reporter being attacked by migrants live on air, not far from where I was staying.
Succede in una stazione centrale in Italia di notte. Francesca.
Molti di loro provengono dall'Africa centrale, alcuni dalla zona del Maghreb, ma ti devo dire, Nicola, anche parlando un po' con loro, quasi tutti sono stanziali qui alla stazione Termini. Domani mattina riporranno le loro coperte, riporranno i loro cartoni e torneranno nuovamente qui a dormire, ancora una volta. Perché la loro speranza è quella di raggiungere soprattutto Milano e altre città del nord e poi spostarsi nel nord Europa. Non li vorremmo disturbare oltre, perché però è importante sapere che questa è l'accoglienza che noi siamo stati aggrediti.
Che succede, Francesca? Francesca?
Ci hanno aggrediti, Nicola.
Beh, ma tu vattene via.
The video showed a female journalist being attacked by a group of North African migrants. It shocked a lot of people. And instead of commenting from afar, Tommy decided to go there himself, camera rolling, to see what was actually happening on the ground.
This attack shocked me. I decided to start digging deeper into Italy's spate of high-profile migrant attacks and found that this was far from the worst. Just in December, a Somali migrant dressed as a nurse, he snuck into a hospital and he attempted to rape a woman who was giving labour. The same year, a Polish tourist was gang raped on a beach in Verona while her partner was beaten and forced to watch. Think about that. It's horror stories. In 2018, an 18-year-old woman was killed by a Nigerian migrant and her dismembered body stuffed into suitcases. That just happened months ago. Even just this year again, just minutes from where the journalist was attacked, a 75-year-old German woman was raped in a park. So I went to go see for myself.
You see, the thing about places like this is that they feel normal until they don't. As Tommy and his cameraman arrived, the atmosphere was off. Groups of young men hanging around, drinking, arguing, tourists moving quickly, heads down, locals keeping their distance. No one looked relaxed, and no one looked safe.
To the areas I was warned not to go to as a journalist. I wanted to find out what was going on there. We'd only been in the area for a mere minutes when the migrants hanging around began to notice the camera. One of them even going for my cameraman.
They began filming as usual without shouting or causing any provocation, just documenting what was happening. That's when the atmosphere changed. One man noticed the camera and immediately became aggressive. He rushed toward the cameraman, trying to grab the equipment, shouting and threatening. In seconds, the situation went from uncomfortable to dangerous.
Clearly they didn't want anyone filming.
No, no, get him.
I'll put you asleep. I'll put you asleep.
Get
the fuck away from the camera. The fuck away from the camera. You tried to touch our camera. Yes, don't fucking try and touch the camera then. I told you that 5 times.
Keep your life.
I will keep my life. You're not going to take my fucking life. Well, you think you're going to take my fucking life? Take my fucking life.
Right. And you cannot. You cannot. You see that? And you cannot. You can look.
You take my
Tommy stepped in to shield his cameraman. Words were exchanged. The man made a direct threat. At that point, things boiled over. A brief physical clash followed and the man went down.
You're going to go. You're going to end up knocked down unconscious.
Despite all the shouting, Tommy stood his ground, repeating one thing over and over. He was there as a journalist, showing what tourists and locals were already afraid to talk about. Minutes later, police arrived.
I was shocked.
The cops eventually separated everyone, took statements, and arrested the man who had started the confrontation. Tommy and his cameraman were escorted away, shaken but unharmed. Here is Tommy speaking directly to the camera, connecting what happened in Rome to wider stories coming out of Italy and across Europe.
Same spot, a female journalist was dragged down the street, live on air. A group of migrants would attempt to attack my cameraman, threatening to kill me. The video of the journalist being dragged down the street is nearly 2 years old, but clearly it's not a one-off, and things in Italy obviously haven't improved. These kind of crimes taking place across Europe are beginning to resemble those that are more commonplace in places like the Middle East and South Africa.
It appears this wasn't just a clash on a street corner. To Tommy, it was a snapshot of why Italy voted the way it did and why so many Europeans are demanding change. And it all started with a camera, a train station, and a question no one wanted to answer out loud.
Given the kind of violence involved, the readiness in which these migrants will attack, it really isn't surprising that Italy has just voted to remove the politicians who brought this upon their own country.
Just like one migrant tried to kill Tommy Robinson, another one ran away from getting killed himself, till he met one-on-one with Tommy to share this very shocking story.
This is Nissa Hussain, and I've contacted Nissa because I've read his story over the years, and I don't think enough people know it. I think if you stop the average person in the British street, they will know nothing about what this man's been through and what his family have been through. I've come here today to try and bring attention on it and bring awareness to the fact of what's happening in our country to many people for expressing their freedom of religion. Tell us about where you was born, when you moved to Bradford, what's happened, and just give us a brief description of how you've ended up here.
Yeah, born and raised in Birmingham, 1965. I actually moved to Bradford.
Nisser Hussain, a man in his 50s, looks calm on the surface, but he's clearly carrying years of pain inside.
7 years ago, 1990, and it's culminated in us leaving Bradford under armed police escort.
Under armed police escort? Because?
We're a convert Christian family. We've suffered persecution for 16 years. The police, the West Yorkshire Police, or Bradford Police rather, haven't acknowledged it as a religious hate crime up to the point of my attack.
16 years prior to this special interview, Nisser had converted from Islam to Christianity while living in Bradford, England. As he explained, that decision changed everything he's ever known. Almost overnight, his life turned into a nightmare. Neighbors he had known for years began threatening him. Bricks were thrown through his windows. Shouting and abuse became routine. His family lived in fear, never knowing what might happen next.
They used baseball bats, was it?
Yeah, it was pickaxe handles.
And they went for your head?
The first blow went for the side of my head. As I blocked it. My hand literally exploded with the force of the hit. It reeled me backwards and I caught my heel on the curb and I fell backwards and I hit the back of my head against the wall behind me. I was concussed and I literally got pummeled. And if it wasn't for these two Polish neighbours of mine, several doors up the way, who just happened to be outside, came dashing to my aid and saw them off, I probably wouldn't be here telling you the story. In that particular...
From the CCTV footage on screen, which he fortunately took possession of, you could see groups of men gathered outside his house late at night, ready to launch more attacks. Police vans eventually arrived, but according to Nisser, nothing meaningful followed. The officers were afraid to act, worried about being accused of targeting Muslims or being labeled Islamophobic.
In November of 2015, June of 2015, I had information through a mosque meeting that the extended family a few doors away from us, who were the catalyst to our problems at that particular address, were out to have me done over. So I reported to the police and they dismissed it. There was a witness to it as well. What we were being subjected to on a daily basis, which amounts, we had 50 thugs lined up outside our home for 18 minutes on the CCTV. And I phoned this sergeant chappie directly and I said, this is what's happening. And he said, I'm sending some response cars. They never did.
They never sent response cars to your house?
No, they never did. I've been stopped outside church doors, actually, by an angry mob with a baby in my arms, you know. I was told by a shopkeeper, a young man, when I walked with two of my children, that had I been in the Middle East, this is bearing in mind about 18, 19 years ago, had I been in the Middle East or Pakistan, he'd be the first to...
At this moment, Tommy asked about the authorities, the church, the people who were supposed to help. Nisser's answer only made things darker.
Coming out of Islam, I've lost everything. Brothers, sisters, parents. My father died in 2011. He was estranged from me for over 15 years, and even when he died, nobody phoned me up to say, yeah, your dad's died.
So what was it like for your kids living there? Were they targeted? Were they abused? What was it like in school for them?
Yeah, they've known nothing but persecution since they were knee high. You know, actually, my oldest boy, he's well, should I say, he was 8, and the girls are 2 years apart, respectively, and they've known nothing for the last 16 years, almost 17 years, but persecution by my so-called own kind. I can't express to you in words the misery, the fear, the daily intimidation, and the daily thought of not only being seriously injured, but also being killed, actually. The last 2 years, we were prisoners in our own home. And of course, the kids are living in constant fear. What will happen to my dad as soon as he walks out the door? Will I make it back home? You know, nothing could have prepared me for this, absolutely.
He said even church leaders failed him. From all indications, it's clear enough to understand the message. Polite refusals, closed doors.
Injustice is so painful. I struggle to try to give you words as to the injustice that we've gone through, you know, and suffered over very, very many years, and the collusion, the corruption of the police of Bradford. They're in complete denial, and I think it's simply the case that they don't want to upset any... It's appeasement. They've seen me being attacked on numerous occasions, cars torched, cars rammed, drive-by brickings. It literally has been a war zone. I've tried my best in my capacity to turn to church folk, every folk, you know, MPs, you know, and we've just been shut down. I've had the most awful betrayal by 3 bishops of Bradford, two previous and this current Bishop Toby Howarth. David James back in 2005 in a face-to-face meeting told me he wouldn't welcome converts to the church. And you have the likes of Nick Baines. He's now the bishop of the Leeds and the Dales, you know, and Justin Welby's over at Sudan right now. He's over there campaigning for religious freedoms, and I have been deliberately sort of willfully failed by them. And maybe it impacts on their interfaith, you know, project, the ecumenicalism. And Justin Welby has also turned his back on me and walked away. I met him in a convention in June 2014, and he knew who I was. He was a bit anxious. I was actually speaking to a black bishop, Bishop Josiah, who's been celebrated for his interfaith promotion. And I walked up to him and said, "I'm Nisar Hussain. We're a convert Christian family. We're being annihilated." The gentleman's jaw just dropped, actually, and Justin Welby came dashing on the podium, and he led him by the arm away from me. And I said to him, "Mr. Welby, I need to speak to you. I need 2 minutes of your time. It's about us as a family, and we're converts, and we're being destroyed." And actually, he said, "Well, they're doing all they can." I said, "No, you're not. The bishops have failed me." And he completely dismissed it and just walked away. "We're doing all we can," he said, and he walked away. He just didn't want to engage.
Even a few politicians who he went to, like Naz Shah, the Labour MP for Bradford West, ignored him. Instead of helping, they choose community harmony over protecting a man whose life was under threat.
Local politicians, local political figures.
More recently, Naz Shah has been an absolute disgrace. Actually, after 3 failed appointments, she's...
When you say failed appointments?
Well, I contacted her and said, "Look, you know, you're my new MP now, actually, and you need to support us, help us as an MP." And I outlined the whole facts, and her initial email was, "Look, okay, I need to help you. Oh my God, shock, horror." And then we'll meet the following week. When the following week came, a few days before, she said to me, "I can't make this appointment. Let's do it for the following week." Similarly, the following week, she emails me again and says that she needs to take advice. And can we meet the following week? And then the third appointment, actually, when I went to confirm a day or 2 before, "Am I okay now to come and meet with you?" There was absolutely no response, and despite my best efforts, she never responded again. You know, it's a case of not what you know, but who you know. Her office manager, Mohammed Shabir, actually is very closely linked to the family that had created with a catalyst. Just fairly recently, Sarah Champion, the MP for Rotherham, spoke out and said, you know, get real or something of that nature. It is a Pakistani problem. She's absolutely right. I'm a Pakistani, born and raised, and I would say to her, she's absolutely right because of the political correctness, and so I'm led to believe Naz Shah has got 100 of her MP buddies, and they've ousted Sarah Champion. It is just gutter politics.
Then came one of the most disturbing moments, where Nisser describes how his car was rammed off the road at night. Another attempt he believed to kill him. At this moment, Tommy reacted with disbelief, saying out loud what many viewers were likely thinking.
In fear, in the UK, within the Islamic communities, who want to express their freedom?
I certainly can't quantify and say to you 100,000s, but I know there's many thousands. And you know, you mentioned earlier about support as well as the church failure. Christians in general, besides one charity, and I've got to mention the Barnabas Fund. But I would say, looking back now, how used I was to set up a charity called Safe Haven with Christian concern. Actually, and it's come to nothing. This very headstrong lady, Andrea Williams, has turned her back, shelved me actually, and run off with my baby. So at some point, what I would love to do, and I'm very passionate about this, having gone through this thing and suffered with over 16 years of my life, and my family along with me, is to set up a charity involving support for converts and those who are leaving Islam. I have every sympathy with the atheists as well, who leave Islam and having a very terrible ordeal as well, actually.
Nisser was forced to move again and again. His children were traumatized. Imagine feeling like an exile in your own country. Still, the small fire of resolve kept burning inside of him.
So, ideally, I don't feel the time is ripe right now because I'm concentrating on my health.
When you say your health as well, what did you do for work?
Previously, I was a nurse.
You was a nurse.
I'm from a nursing background.
Yeah. And you're not working now?
No.
Is this to do with your attacks?
Yes, yeah. Diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder.
So you're living with post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yeah, I have been for very many years actually, and also still have a few issues with the fallout of the attack in November 2015. That's more physical as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since you've been quite vocal about leaving Islam, have you had a lot of other people contact you in similar positions? Yeah, can I just say very quickly, I haven't been vocal per se. It's just that it's gone out like wildfire. Because of the news. You're told by your best friend, or you thought he was your best friend, a fellow Pakistani chap, never come to his house again. He then tells somebody, it then goes out like wildfire, and before you know it, you're suffering immeasurably. You're this instant contempt. You know, you could be best of brothers the 1 minute, and as soon as they found out you're converted,
listening to Nisser, you begin to wonder how many more stories of targeted Britons are left untold.
Where they pay money to people from the refugee camps, Muslims, to go and kill Israelis. So they reward people for murdering innocent civilians. Is that a good thing?
No, of course not. Definitely.
So how can we as a country recognise it?
Very clearly. The Quran says that to kill one person is as you have killed the entire mankind.
Can you
save one person is as if you have saved the entire mankind.
Can you carry on reading that verse?
من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا.
Can I translate what you said? Unless they cause mischief, and they must have their hands and feet cut off and exiled from...
I can't even call it a caliphate. That was completely against the Quran and Sunnah. Everything that they did is completely against, and I can see freely and openly that they are they are not Muslims at all. Even Hamas they some of the teachings that they propagate and some of the things they have carried out is against Muslim teachings.
Are you an imam?
Yes, I am an imam.
At a mosque?
They keep saying the same line over and over again, like a lullaby meant to calm a nervous crowd. That Islam is peaceful. Islam is misunderstood. Islam has been treated unfairly by the West. And for a moment, if you only listen to the opening words, you might almost believe it. Almost.
My name is Umar.
Omar?
Yeah.
Omar, we're obviously in Jerusalem.
Yep.
We're just understanding the complexity of the Jewish side and the Muslim side.
Yeah.
What's your view as a British Muslim on the State of Israel?
I have no issue. As long as people are living in peace, if they have their side, they have their country, and the Palestinians have their own kind of safe spot where they can live freely without under any oppression or any injustice, then I think this is the solution for peace in the Middle East.
The well-spoken British Imam began by quoting one of the most repeated verses in modern Islamic apologetic. Kill one person, he says, and it is as if you killed all of mankind. Save one life, and it is as if you saved the whole world. It sounds universal, like a statement with moral clarity, until Tommy Robinson did what few interviewers are willing to do. And that is where the mood changes.
Expecting to hear that, because I didn't expect to hear many Muslims that would recognise the Israeli state.
Okay. No, I have no issue. The Israelis, they've been living here for thousands of years. They have a rich history in this part of the Middle East.
Where are you from, bro?
I'm from Britain.
Whereabouts?
Leicester.
Leicester, okay.
Yeah. And if they want to live in this part of the country, in this part of the region of the world, then they can. But what the issue of the mainly Muslim majority population is, as long as they live in peace together, as long as there's not this oppression and injustice taking place, then we have no problem.
What would you say if...
By the time he realized what Tommy did, he quickly stepped in and tried to save the day by saying what he quoted was meant for judges, not ordinary people. But the discomfort is already there, hanging in the air, because once you admit the text exists, you can't pretend everyone interprets it the same way.
Muslim history, you'll see that when the Crusaders came, then Jewish people expelled from Jerusalem. But when the Muslims ruled, then the Christians, Muslims and Jewish people lived in peace and harmony.
As long as they paid the jizya?
Of course, as long as they paid the tax, which we live in Britain.
As long as they were subjugated?
No, as long as they live freely. If you read history, there was no oppression, there was no occupation.
Providing they paid special money for protection?
Just like we do pay our taxes.
But the Muslims didn't have to pay the same tax?
The Muslims have to pay extra. They have to pay zakah, they have to pay ushr.
Charity towards Muslims?
No, that goes to the community Bayt al-Mal. That goes back to the same concept of taxes.
Can I ask you, so what would you say if I've just told you I've walked along this shopping street in the Muslim quarter, I've spoke to many Muslim business owners who said they love the State of Israel?
Yeah, that's fine.
But that surprised you? It surprised me.
I don't think so.
But they said they're happy living here and they haven't faced discrimination and they feel fairly treated under the State of Israel.
That's perfectly fine. As long as they're happy, they're living in peace and security, I see no issue with this. And if they have no issue with it, then I have no issue with it.
What's your name?
Omer.
More Muslims like I'm here, yeah?
No, I'm just for peace. I don't like this fighting taking place.
The Imam keeps presenting himself as a reasonable man. He supports peace. He accepts Israel's existence. He praises coexistence. He even talks about harmony under Islamic rule, insisting Jews and Christians lived peacefully as long as they paid jizya. But Tommy isn't about to hand him the flowers he's looking for.
What can I ask your view? The British government just recognised the state of Palestine.
Yeah? I think that's a great move.
Okay, but the Palestinian Authority, who control the state of Palestine, they have a rule and a law where they pay money to people from the refugee camps, Muslims, to go and kill Israelis. So they reward people for murdering innocent civilians. Is that a good thing?
No, of course not. Definitely.
So how can we as a country recognise
very
them?
Clearly, that the Quran says that to kill one person is as you have killed the entire mankind.
Can you
save one person is as if you have saved the entire mankind.
Can you carry on reading that verse?
من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا.
Can I translate what you said? Unless they cause mischief and they must have their hands and feet cut off and exiled from the land.
That's not up to Tom, Dick and Harry to decide. That is up to a qualified judge to decide. And if you look in Ottoman history, you'll find very few scenarios where that actually took place.
Can I ask, who's Ibn Kathir?
Ibn Kathir is...
The verse the Imam quoted doesn't end where the slogans end. It continues into punishments, into cutting hands and feet, into exile, into the idea of mischief as something that must be violently dealt with. At this point, Tommy pointed out that the so-called peace he was talking about involves subjugation, special taxes, and unequal status. Watch how the Imam responds by comparing it to modern taxation, but the difference is obvious. One is civic obligation. The other is religious hierarchy.
Pastor and Muslim theologian.
Is he very good? Is he recognised well?
Yes.
Ibn Kathir translates the word mischief as meaning not believing in Allah.
Okay.
So that verse that you just quoted.
That's his.
You just said he's a great scholar. That word that you just that verse that you just translated, according to that great Islamic scholar, translates that mischief, not believing in Allah, must be punished by death, execution.
That's his opinion. Now, if you
just said he's a great Islamic scholar, yeah? He's one of the most renowned in the world.
That doesn't mean I have to agree with everything he says. As for example,
but do you understand why we have a problem when a million?
As a human being, I don't agree with the majority of your views. But that doesn't mean I don't support your journalism. That doesn't mean I agree with the work that you are doing.
Okay,
I am happy with that.
But what I'm saying is, do you understand why, if we've got an Islamic scholar who's one of the most renowned in the world, he translates the verse that you just quoted to say kill non-Muslims?
Yeah, but if you look at, see, one thing is what's on paper. If you look at the example of how
What makes this exchange really unsettling is how calmly everything is said. The Imam tries his best to distance himself from extremists at every turn. According to him, ISIS is not Islamic. Hamas is not Islamic. Boko Haram is not Islamic. Grooming gangs have nothing to do with Islam. Sexual slavery, he insists, has rules. War captives are a different context. Everything bad is always someone else's fault, someone else's misunderstanding, someone else's Islam. Tommy keeps circling back to the same issue. If the texts exist, and if respected scholars interpret them violently, and if extremist groups quote those same texts word for word, why is it forbidden to ask whether there's a connection?
And the Islamic caliphate ruled for the past 13 centuries, you will find that isn't the case.
What about the ISIS caliphate?
We don't agree with that at all. That is.
What sect are you from, sir?
I'm a Sunni.
You're a Sunni?
Yes.
Okay.
The ISIS caliphate was not, I can't even call it a caliphate. That was completely against the Quran and Sunnah. Everything that they did is completely against. And I can see freely and openly that they are not Muslims at all. Even Hamas. Hamas, some of the teachings that they propagate and some of the things they have carried out is against Muslim teachings.
Are you an imam?
Yes, I am an imam.
At a mosque in Leicester?
Nottingham.
In Nottingham?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting chat, bro.
And I follow you on social media quite a lot. And I applaud you for your patriotism. But unfortunately, I think that you have maybe you got the wrong picture and the wrong version of Islam. And I've watched your podcast. I know you have Muslim friends in growing up in Luton, and I think the area where you have grown up in was mainly was it Pakistani Kashmiri Muslims.
Pakistani right? Kashmiri.
And then
are you Indian?
Yes, I am.
Deobandi.
Yes.
Deobandi.
And you'll notice that the Gujaratis, Deobandis, generally they are more kind of welcoming, and they are less inclined to this kind of violence and sectarianism.
What about Tablighi Jamaat, the mosque?
Yes,
that's your main mosque?
No, I'm not part of the group, but I know people that are part of the group.
Okay.
What about Ali Dawa and people like Ali Dawa?
People like them, I don't really have any inclination towards those kind of people. I don't really agree what they kind of do. Going out to the streets and forcing people and being aggressive. I've seen some of his videos. He can be quite aggressive. That kind of approach, I'm more of a gentle person. I like talking to people.
What about his ideology? What do you believe?
I don't. What in terms of? He's Muslim.
Let me ask you. So.
Notice immediately after the Imam admits that famous scholars like Ibn Kathir exist, he shrugs and says disagreement is allowed. But disagreement doesn't erase influence. You don't get to dismiss a doctrine just because you personally don't like where it leads. Then comes the moment that exposes the gap between reassurance and reality, when the topic shifts to grooming gangs.
In your perfect society, yours, forget Britain, what you would love to see for the whole world or your country or where you live, what should, in that nation, what would you put the legal age for sex as?
I'm not a legislator. I'm not familiar with the law, so I can't give an answer to that question.
No, in your society, if you could govern society, you're an imam. In your ideal society, what would the rules be around?
There is no specific age. Whatever the culture of that and the norm of that society is, that would be the legal age. So, for example, in medieval Britain, the age was very young.
But what about now? What about now?
So now the norm of society would be that 18 plus, and if somebody was to get married younger, I wouldn't agree with that because it's not the custom and the norm of this age. So Islam is unique that it follows the customs and traditions of the society, the community.
Doesn't it wish to? So wasn't Muhammad perfect?
Of course he was.
So wouldn't it be about implementing the way Muhammad lived?
He never preached this. He never commanded us to do this.
The Imam insists Islam forbids rape. He says the men involved are ignorant, not religious. Just hungry men. But if I were Tommy, there's one question I could have asked to really test his loyalties. What's the difference between rape and what Muhammad did with Aisha at 9?
He says the marry women, that there's no age restriction, there's no limit. It's based on the norm and culture of that society. So if you look at medieval Britain, so many kings, even in the Bible, many examples of...
Richard the Lionheart had an 11-year-old wife.
Yeah, exactly.
But we don't want to emulate Richard the Lionheart. Can I ask one more question, Mo? You've watched...
I need to run for prayer.
Okay, sorry, man. You've watched a lot of my content, yeah?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Do you think I hate Muslims?
I wouldn't say you hate Muslims, but I think you have sort of hatred and a misunderstanding, a misconstrued understanding of what Islam is. And I believe that's because of maybe the environment you grew up in and the things that you...
If this Imam is really firm about his convictions, and if he believes all he's saying is true, why don't we see Hindu grooming gangs? Sikh grooming gangs? Why the same pattern in the same towns again and again? Notice how the Imam suddenly lost ground. And instead of admitting he has no idea about some of the things Tommy asked, he tried to deflect to population size and media bias. But the statistics don't go away just because they're inconvenient.
I don't know.
Reform?
All the politicians I see...
Reform?
That would be... See, the issue on immigration, I agree with it to a certain extent. See, my parents were born in this country, but my grandparents were immigrants from Africa and from India. And they came and they worked hard. They came, they lived in houses, 4 or 5 people together. They worked and then they earned the money. Now they all have their own houses. See, but the problem with the influx of immigrants now is that they are coming just to kind of benefit from the system without contributing to society. And I think that's problematic.
Okay.
And I have also this issue as well, that so many of them are coming and they're committing crimes. And again, this goes back to not following Islam correctly. See, rape.
And this is where the peaceful religion claim begins to crack, not because of shouting but because of avoidance. Every violent outcome is blamed on misinterpretation. Every extremist is declared not Muslim. Every disturbing verse is contextualized into irrelevance. Yet the same verses, the same scholars, the same arguments keep resurfacing across continents and decades.
This Islam prohibits sex outside of marriage.
Unless at war.
That's a whole different discussion and topic.
But if at war, Muslims can take non-Muslim women as sexual slaves?
They can't just take it just like that. There's rules and regulations.
Rules and regulations, but some of the verses in the Quran say that outside your full wives, take whatever your right arm possesses, you are blameless.
Yeah. So if you have attained a slave girl due to the correct conditions...
What correct conditions can there be for a slave girl?
It's a prisoner of war. So if a female is captured as a prisoner of war...
Like the Jewish ladies who were just taken by Hamas?
No, because that wasn't... that would not be classified as the jihad, would it?
But it was to them, to Hamas?
To them.
And it was to Boko Haram? And it was to ISIS with the Yazidis?
All those groups, I don't agree with them at all.
I know you don't agree with them, but you understand that they take the verses. They take the verse in the Quran, which legitimise slave girls.
Yes.
Tommy meeting with this Imam in Jerusalem with prayers echoing in the background is really symbolic. We have 3 religions, 3 histories, and one very explosive conversation everyone wants to end politely, except Tommy Robinson.
Again, due to a lack of correct understanding, or maybe just the Prophet ﷺ himself said in a hadith, a time will come when people will read the Quran but it will not pass their neck, meaning they will read the Quran and act upon the verses but it will not enter into their hearts. They will not practice and understand the Quran correctly.
Do you think maybe with the explosion of rape in Rotherham, in Telford, across the country, do you think maybe some of those people are taking these same verses that Boko Haram, ISIS and Hamas are taking?
I don't think so. The people who are behind these, what do you call them?
Grooming, they call them.
They are probably the most illiterate people in regards to Islam. You look at them, you'll be able to tell they probably don't even know a verse of the Quran. And so they are just hungry men who are feeding on young girls, unfortunately. And see, it doesn't make sense because to have a Muslim grooming gang, Islam doesn't allow grooming and raping.
Why do you think then, if they're just hungry men, why do you think there's not gangs of hungry Hindu men or hungry Sikh men?
They are out there, but maybe they are not as many because the Muslim population is much more. And number two, they are not highlighted as much as the Muslim crimes are highlighted. So for example, there are also British grooming gangs as well, white British. And I'm sure you've seen them as well. Now, they are much more compared to the Muslim grooming gangs, but they are highlighted much more.
The Imam tried to put up a facade of innocence. But innocence can be a smokescreen, a deceitful covering for mischief. And make no mistake, no matter what he said, Islam is not as peaceful as they try to make it seem.
If I went into the statistics and the numbers, yeah? Muslim men make up 90% of the convictions for gangs of men. In fact, groups of men who come together to rape young girls. Why do you think they're so overrepresented?
I have no idea.
No, okay. Are we allowed to, do you think we are allowed to explore if there is a religious justification for it? Can we have that open discussion around Islam?
Would, but I doubt there would be any religious justification for that at all.
Kindly hit the comments below and let us know your thoughts on this.